Oh, well, we had a
Yeah,
countdown,
maybe
and
one of
then the
those
live
days.
and then the live button didn't work. Yeah, it's definitely been one of those days. So
It's nice
welcome.
raven though.
Thank you. But this is Jamie Ruby. Welcome to Sci-Fi Vision. Sorry about that, everybody. As I was starting to
I thought
say,
you were
and
gonna do the countdown again, so I just start
nah,
talking.
I don't want to waste another 30 seconds.
Okay.
But I was starting to say, I know there's two logos. I didn't know if I should remove the one, but when I had it above my picture, it seemed like it was distracting people. So I'm hoping that maybe by moving it, the animation isn't quite so
Well,
jarring
well,
and
they
distracting.
move independently of each other, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's two different animations. I've just been
Mhm.
messing around and
It's cool.
yeah, trying to add things, but right now for some reason, I don't know why it, and I've said this before, it seems like some of um the episode, like especially for Apple, the pictures are way skinnier, and I know it shouldn't bug me, but
Hmm.
it does. And it's like I find myself cutting off half the picture just to fit them. I guess it's better with the little.
You can put it inside the frame. I don't think it looks bad with the background behind it.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is it's still cutting off half the picture. That's the problem. It's like way
Yeah.
longer. I don't know. Apple's videos are like wire or something. But anyway, it looks good enough. It'll have to do. But welcome, guys. I hope you waited around. Sorry about that. But we are good to go now, even for we're a tiny bit late. But tonight we have the episode is called I forget what is it called? Scarlet, I'm losing my brains.
Com-
Um
Complementary species.
Complementary Species. That's what it was. I know it was
You
complementary
don't you don't
something.
remember the
Complementary.
sexy scene in this one where the complementary species are, being
No, I just couldn't remember
complimentary?
what it was called. I'm yeah, it's been a very, very long day, guys. But thank you if you came. Make sure that you subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision and like the video. And if you haven't, make sure that you join our Discord, which I'm sticking the link of in the chat. Whoops. Because we do have watch parties before we do the live streams. So you can catch up with us if you've, missed the episode beforehand. And I gotta mute the tab there, or it's gonna all of a sudden get really loud. But yeah, please join us if you haven't. We have shows most days of the week, and Thursday. Well, tomorrow first, I should say tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. We have our weekly review / roundup show. But Thursday, when we do Librarians the Next Chapter, before we do it, I'm gonna have some kind of birthday bash something. I don't know. We're gonna figure out something fun to do. If you guys have suggestions, make sure you do put them in Discord. But I'm gonna try to figure out something fun to do beforehand. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. I don't know. We'll see.
Pin the
But
tail on the donkey.
yeah, yeah, maybe. We'll have to
I mean,
we'll
if
have
you
to
were
see
here
how
in
it
real life, I'd
works.
just make a cake, but it's kind of hard to bring a cake all the way over to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have a virtual cake, but thank you, appreciate that. But
Or
but yeah,
cupcakes.
I don't know. I just figured we could do maybe something fun since I'm going to be here on my birthday. But yeah, that's on Thursday, and I also have an institute interview on Thursday, which is cool.
Nice.
But you guys won't get to see it for a while. But we will be breaking down the institute on Sunday nights when it starts on the 13th of next month after we do live watch parties when it drops. And then, yeah, I'll be doing a review later in the week too with Karen and AJ. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate it. All right. Well, why don't we get started? I usually start with asking you, what did you think about the episode? Because I've had longer to digest it. What did you think
You
about it?
know, you know, I was waiting for a hot sex scene in this series, and I got it. And I'm happy.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Maybe not the one we wanted, but still that. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, much.
it's interesting. It goes outside of Murderbot because I've been listening to the audiobook, and Murderbot just does the audiobook. So it's interesting that the series has them all separate in the beginning. The humans.
Yeah. No, wait. Say that again. You said they're different. What do you mean they have them separate? Say that again. Sorry.
Oh, from the beginning.
No. The thing you said about the humans being separate. What do you mean they're separate? I missed the beginning of that part. What you were saying about the humans being separate.
The book Murderbot is from Murderbot's point of view, so you don't get scenes like that where the humans are just separate from him.
Separate. Okay, I thought you meant the
Him or
humans
it
were
or
separated
they,
from each
whatever
other.
you
You
want to
were
say.
confusing me there. That makes more sense. Yeah, I like that we get to see both sides of it. I feel like you kind of need that in a TV show more so than you do in a book. But yeah, I like that we get to see their points of view and stuff. Although we're not seeing inside their heads, obviously, but I don't know that we necessarily need to. So it works out. But yeah,
Too much narration.
yeah, we only get his narration. But
Yeah.
I've loved his narration from the beginning because I love the things he says, and I think that's the best part. But I said last week, and that the same thing's true, that I love how now that he is not hiding that he's quote unquote free, that he's just a smartass to everybody, and he says what he thinks, and he's not very nice half the time, and they take it. He's even making jokes, which I found the most surprising. That he seems to have gotten the idea of I guess how to do that. I don't know, probably from us, but yeah, I don't know. I think that the comedy in that sense has changed since then, and I like that. But well, I might as well get started. So we start out with this flashback, which clearly is port-free commerce, and a month earlier. That raven is starting to distract me. I'm gonna change it while I'm talking to you. It's just kind of big. It's like in the middle of the picture.
It's shrinking.
There it shrunk. That's a little better. Everybody,
what kind of magic witchcraft is this?
No, I was just gonna say, if you guys have been on my show the past week, I've been messing with all the animations.
You can also make it real big, like it could take over the screen.
Yeah, no, we just need a little one, but at least the other one hopefully isn't too distracting now. But yeah, they're at this flashback and they're playing this, I guess, game that is what sweet and bitter. And I'm guessing, I mean, they didn't exactly explain it, but what I got out of it, and you can tell me if you thought something different, but from what I got out of it, like they have to tell something that made them, that was good, I guess, that made them happy or whatever, that was sweet, and something that made them bitter. And oh, I see what I did. Sorry, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, why is it that the whole one's only the one side's cut off? I don't know why that happened. That is so annoying. Sorry. I gotta like not do that, but it's gonna drive me nuts until I fix it. So I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm gonna grab that side a little bit.
Yeah, it can be make it a little smaller. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's so like I want to. No, I want to at least make it centered so we're like losing the same amount.
Yeah, the character is centered at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be really cropping, worse than normal. Which you can see how much longer it is. That's what I mean. It's like I don't understand that. It should all be the same ratio, but apparently it's not. But anyway, so they're playing this game about sweet and bitter, and we first get however you pronounce her, Bodswatch story, and she's talking about giving a lecture, and that Pinley came to see her, and I guess that part was sweet. And then the bitter part was that she thought Pinley had romantic feelings for her, she thought Pinley had romantic feelings for her as well as she did for them, but they didn't return her feelings, so I guess she was embarrassed by that. But yeah, I'm not sure I quite get the point of this game. Like, I get the rules of the game, but why they're doing it, I don't know. And they're all snapping, and they're in the middle of the restaurant, and clearly the other patients in the restaurant are confused by it. They all are looking at him like, shut up.
It's just the thing that space hippies do, Jamie.
I guess so. I'm trying to, like, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, I don't even know, like, if I was playing, so I'm trying to think, what would I say? And because I figured somebody's going to ask, I'm like, I don't even know. I'd have to think about it. But yeah, that was her story. And then next is Garathan. And this is probably the big piece of his backstory that we learn in this episode, that he does talk finally. And he talks about when he met Mensa. And he says, I forgot to switch the pictures. Okay, so he talks, that's still her story. He talks about when he met Mensa, and that, hold on, this is the sweet one. And that he was actually part of the planet working group, but was like that's where he was pretending to work for. It was at a conference for the non-aligned systems as representative of the Free Planet Working Group, but he was actually a spy for the corporate rim. And they seem like even they don't know this story. At least I took it that way. Did you think that they didn't seem to know about it either? Only she did.
I'm not 100% sure. I think so. I mean, it's kind of like, if they would have been, I thought they would have been more shocked by it if they, didn't know before. But maybe it's fine.
No, I don't know. I just thought that maybe they're like this is sort of their. I didn't know if maybe the whole point of this game is sort of like a truth or dare, get to know each other type thing. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
was wondering because it seems like it's when they met somebody else in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And something sweet about it and something not so sweet about it, which is weird because I think that could create animosity, but it's fine.
It would. It would. But yeah, he was a spy, so he didn't start out being part of this hippie group, as you call
Yeah.
them. That he was actually doing what he was doing because they had him addicted to different
Yeah.
substances, and only the corporation had what he needed, and that basically they wanted him to take information from the different groups and use them to get the corporation ahead and like give them I guess it kind of meant also maybe give them dirty information on them that they could blackmail them with. It wasn't super clear what it was. It just said to divide their adversaries. But he was supposed to do it to Mensa, and obviously he likes Mensa and didn't, he decided that he liked her when he met her, and he just admitted the truth to her and said, he didn't want to lie. It was about his addiction. And he also says during this that he considered ending his life at this point, but when he met her, he understood what was possible, and that he said possible people of goodwill, that she was good. So he ended up telling her everything, told her that he was a spy, and she forgave him even with what he was going to do to her. So he, I guess, joined their side is the idea, even though that was how he got out of their control. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious though, like how he got over his addiction and everything. If
Mm-hmm.
the corporation was the only one that could really help him, and they were keeping him under their thumb, he didn't really explain what happened after that. But he doesn't want to tell them a bitter story, which I think is interesting. That's the story that he chooses to tell, and he doesn't want to tell anything negative because that was like a really telling story as it was. It was a really personal
Maybe
story.
it's even worse if he tells a bitter one.
It might be, but it might be what you said too. Maybe it has to do with it has to be about the other person, because I know he did say Mensa before he started, so it
Well, the
isn't
other
just
one
like
was about Pen Lee too, and I was like, maybe
right.
that
So
it
it
was
isn't
around
about
Robin.
themselves. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about somebody else. But I definitely think it's an exercise to get to know them, better. And it seems like he at this point, not that he knows them as well now, he still sort of, sticks to himself, but he didn't wasn't very close to them then. But he does tell Mensa on the side that he says that he thinks she's naive, and he's worried about the deal that they're making with the company to go down to this planet, and that even if they take a sec unit, he doesn't know that they'll be safe because he doesn't trust the sec unit. But she says to him that the bad stuff is also part of the good stuff, sweet and bitter, positive and negative. And I think that's true of everything. I mean, you have to take the bad with the good. Plus, the bad makes the good better sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you can't always be. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a sound piece of advice there. But that is all we see for that flashback. And I'm doing bad at moving through my images again. Sorry. So he already had his what do you call it? His implants, his augmentations there. I was curious. I had, but yeah, you can see them, so you had to.
I like that Mensa looks like she's wearing an American flag with the dots and the stripes.
With the, it kind of does, yeah. Yeah, they're, we don't, this is, I never thought about it, but this is like the only time that we got to see them outside of their uniforms. That's why they look so different too. I find that funny. I'm curious though about this ship in the background, because it looks like something is wrapped, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's like in storage or something. I don't think it's supposed to be, but it looks like it to me.
Or like a window in the side of a rock.
I don't know. It's very bizarre. I don't know. They don't explain what it is, and it isn't relevant. But then they go to back to the present, and Sec Unit is telling them that they have to leave, and they're all kind of freaking out, not wanting to leave. They're still upset about Labibi, and there's Labibi's body there. That's just, sand, I guess, sort of sand set. I mean, she still had a head.
He said I covered it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I covered it.
covered
Which,
it.
Should have made it all the better. But yeah, there's so many funny lines in this. Like, some of them are throwaway, but they're still funny. Like, even Pinley's like, who died and made Sec Unit our boss, and Rathy's like, I think she did.
Yeah, so
But yeah, he's telling them that, it's likely that her friends are coming and they really need to get out of there, or they're going to be in danger. And they keep, like, when they ask him about it, he's just like, I'm monitoring the perimeter. And they make jokes about it, and how he's always monitoring the perimeter, and think he just doesn't want to talk to them, which is, of course, partially true. But he's also is assessing the risk, and they need to start learning to listen to him. But this is where, let's see, actually, I think that, yeah, Barks Watch is upset because they're going to lose all their data. I guess they didn't have time to copy the data. I don't know. They didn't really explain that. I assumed they did, but she seems like they're leaving the data behind, because she's getting upset, and Garathan's like, we can get it again. We really need to go. But honestly, he really needs to go to medbay because he had been shot in the leg by Labibi.
Yeah.
But
I thought the data was stolen by Labibi.
Had she already stolen it? I didn't realize
I thought they were downloading it for her, and then part of it was
so maybe
gone.
she like downloaded it off the system. Okay, that's possible. I kind of assumed like they were maybe copying it for her, but not that it.
I mean, I'm just assuming that. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, well, no, but you could be right. I hadn't really thought about that. But since they're kind of on a remote planet, I assumed they were copying it, but they didn't really say. So you could be right. But I like too how Sec Unit's like, we have to go, and Mensa's like, we know that, and he's like, well, then why aren't you moving faster? It's like he feels like nobody's listening to them. And he's let's see, I'm trying to see, was that his quote where he said about they were upset about the violence? He's trying to get them to listen. They're getting upset that he's yelling, and finally he's like, fine, we'll give a softer approach. He's like, please get in the hopper unless you feel like dying, not by me.
Yeah.
There's where he's watching him. I think I'm in there. This is where he comes in. He's like, yeah, he's like, I mean from them, not from me, because he scared them there. But that's funny. But he kind of gets the point across, I guess. They're still like, what's the plan, and not really wanting to move. And they're worried that Sec Unit's in on it. But of course, he can hear them, and he isn't too happy that they're talking, about him. And he's trying to save them. But they do eventually start to leave, and they get in the hopper. And then I feel like I'm in the wrong place on the images, and I'm very confused, and I'm trying to figure out where the heck I am. Okay.
This is the beginning, right?
Yeah, right.
He goes and tries to talk to him.
Yeah, I think that's the right place. Rathy is like, oh, everybody feels jumpy because of what happened. And then he tries to make a joke. And I like this. He's like, that was good aim unless you were trying to hit Garath. And he's like, if I was trying to kill him, he'd be dead. So that joke, I mean, he wasn't joking, but it was a joke that was funny to us. But he doesn't understand, I guess, why they are still upset over it, because he clearly didn't intend to hurt him. He's like, you all would be if I wanted to kill you. He's like, you're making more out of it, I guess, than they need to. But
well, he was just defending them, so he thinks that they should be appreciative that he defended them.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. They're all still so upset over him killing Labibi, which, look, I understand they're freaked out by the violence, but at the same time, he did save them. So some of that, I don't quite. I feel like they need to get on board, I guess. But Rathy, I don't know, Rathy doesn't get as upset as the other people do, and that's why he's trying to talk to him and figure out what's going on. And then he goes over and he's like, "Oh, he's confident." And they're asking about did he regret it, and he's like, "Well, he didn't exactly say that." So yeah, he's not too he's not too as concerned as them, but I mean, I understand like why Garathan and stuff is freaked out, especially because he exploded her head next to him and I think he says that at
Yeah.
some point later on.
But he
But
also got shot too, I'm thinking
yeah,
more
yeah,
on the Murderbot side of like somebody was shooting at me and shot
yeah,
me in the arm.
yeah, definitely. So he has a right to be a little upset about that. But let's see. He does say that. See, this is where it seems like it's not there. They're landing the hopper. This is, I think, it. Wherever he says that Garathan is his body temperature. He's got a fever. And he's
Yeah.
like really sarcastically, "Thanks for your concern." And he's like, "I wasn't concerned. I'm just stating a fact." It's like, you don't give a shit. And then he goes outside and he's like, "I'm so ungrateful." So yeah, he's trying and they're clearly not. But when he goes outside, they all start talking about maybe they should, well, it's Pinley that says maybe they should leave him and take off. So a lot of the episode is them kind of all disagreeing about it because Mensa thinks they need him because somebody's trying to kill them, where Pinley is very not trustworthy of him. Arata, I feel like, is kind of trying to mediate between all of them. And like I said, Rathy just doesn't seem to care. He doesn't even know her Labibi's name right. He still can't even say her name.
Well, it is kind of a dumb name.
Yeah. But that's where Mensa says he's more concerned, so he's trying to kill us. And of course she's not happy with how he killed the BB. And then that's where Grathan says, also not happy someone's head exploded next to mine. So yeah, it makes sense he is anyway. But they also continue on the conversation that at least Arata doesn't think that Libibi would have actually killed them. But, they're kind of split on that.
She was bluffing, but I don't know if she shot somebody. I don't think she's bluffing.
Yeah,
she was bluffing.
And that's kind of his point. Like it was good bluff if that's the case. But, Barks Watch is like, I thought he was supposed to protect us. But the thing is, he did protect them. That's where it's like, I don't get that they're just not seeing, I guess,
It was just a gruesome way of protecting them, I guess. It was a little bit more violence than what they were expecting.
Yeah, they definitely.
I guess they thought that he might shoot her in the foot or something, and then they could detain her as opposed to,
I guess, but I think that if he had done that and then Garathan was killed, they would have been having more problems with him, right? And they would have been like, "Why were you so slow?" I really think they still would have blamed him. This is where I think where they're saying Rathy and Pinley were saying they were there for her, but they act like they could protect her. But also, this is where he makes that really bad analogy when he says, sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make a protein-dense breakfast.
Yep.
They're right. That is not how that saying goes. So, yeah. But they are seeming to tell Rada, "Oh, you don't need sec unit. We're here for you." I don't know what they think they're going to do, which they kind of, prove later that they're a little useless.
Yeah,
they try to.
Their combat skills are not great. They are not good.
They're not. I mean, he doesn't even know how to shoot a gun. He's already established he's never shot a gun, so they're not too much help there. But yeah, like I said, they all are sort of disagreeing with each other. And Arata is the one who says that they need to, well, she says join hands with it, not abandon it. So she really thinks that they can make it more part of the team. And Mensa does say that he may leave them, like they may not even have a choice in the end, because she says, that if she were a construct that was forced labor and sorry, I can't talk, was part of so much abuse that she would think about running away basically and go on her own. And he may do that, is what she's saying. And then Garathan's like, yeah, but I'd get rid of the witnesses. So he's like trying to say that he's taking them to this isolated place just so he can dump their bodies, which is clearly not the case. And Pinley is like, I'm gonna sue them, and seems to think that's gonna work. So yeah, he goes off on his own and kind of broods and complains. And then in this scene that was pretty cool, he's looking at like a version of himself. He's like not exactly hallucinating, he's just imagining, I guess. And he's
It's
like, I
because he
could just
doesn't have his stories. He doesn't have stories. He can't
yeah,
write
he doesn't have
stories.
enough of
Featuring
enough of his soap opera. But he does, and you know, on our other show, I know Karen keeps saying like even if he's not being forced to have to obey them, that he still has like programming that makes him want to protect them. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but I feel like he's sort of talking about that where he says, you know, you can't think of him as organic where he would just want to leave him and run away, or a robot who obeys orders, because he's just, you know, him. He's like both, and he doesn't know what he wants. And he's like, well, I could just, you know, stand here and watch my shows until my battery runs out. And that's where he says, become a piece of the scenery. And that's when he sees himself there growing into the tree. And yeah, you're right. He's like, I should have downloaded more episodes. Which, I would have liked to have seen, you know,
he was using his imagination.
Yeah. Yes, he
so
was.
He has imagination.
I was going to say, but you wouldn't think he would. So yeah, somehow he has imagination there. And then this is between Mensa and Garath and their conversation. He's hurt is part of it. But
it's got some good tights, some good leggings action going on this.
Yeah, I know. They're all wearing those orange leggings. Well, he isn't, but that's because his legs hurt. But yeah, I noticed that they all have on those orange leggings. But he really needs to go to Med Bay. But the idea is Sec Unit doesn't want to take time for them to stay long enough at the at their whatever we'll call it, their base camp, because he really does think someone's coming. So that's why they went in the hopper. But he asks Mensa, he says, do you have feelings for it? Do you think that was like a jealousy thing? I don't know. That was a little bit weird conversation. And I know we've talked before about like how he clearly has a crush on her. And I don't know if he necessarily meant it that way, but I do think that he's jealous. She seems to like Sec Unit. I mean, not in like a, you know, sexual romantic way, but I still think he's kind of jealous that, I don't know, that Sec Unit can connect with her better, I guess, because he's not good at it, clearly.
That he's kind of asking that question in a way that's romantic feelings, or it could be other feelings, disrespect, or, you know, platonic feelings.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Feelings.
I think he knows that they, like her and Sec Unit, share some kind of connection, and he's so awkward. Like, I think he just feels a lot of times like he can't connect with any of the group. And I think that makes him hate Sec Unit more, probably. Regardless of who it's with. And, you know, I don't think it necessarily has to be those kind of feelings. I think he just doesn't like that she, like I said, that she likes him, that she connects with him, that she's able to open up to him, and she sort of doesn't with him. But that's just, yeah, he's kind of awkward, and he's not real great at these conversations, but he is a little jealous. I don't know. He asks her, and I lost where I was. She says, hold on. She says he's really out of it. So she just kind of, you know, doesn't really acknowledge it, I guess. But she just thinks it's because he's, you know, losing blood or whatever.
They got some good like mushrooms or something under this guy's armpit. It's like the flora.
Yeah, the Willy Wonka type mushrooms. Those are weird looking. Yeah, I wish that they'd explore the planet more. Like, I want to see more of the flora and fauna of the planet. I think it is pretty cool, but we don't get to see.
I think they should have a laundry so they can wash a shirt.
Still got blood
all over it.
They do that on all shows, though. They keep
spare.
blood all over their face and everything, and they usually don't even wash their face, and it's kind of like, they just, you would in real life you wouldn't do that, you know, but they do that a lot on TV. But she starts asking Sec Unit, she asks him how the perimeter is. And he asks if she's making a joke because of the way they keep doing that. They keep saying
Mm-hmm.
about him about the perimeter. And she's like, yeah, but I still want to know. And then she starts asking about him. And of course, he's not happy and doesn't want to talk to her. And he's like, he thought that if he wasn't hiding that he was hacked, that he wouldn't have to answer these stupid human questions. But then he's like, well, any bullshit will do the trick. So he's like, I'm okay. He's just
Mm-hmm.
saying anything to get her to leave him alone. But I think she's definitely connecting with him though in the ways the others don't, because he talks to her, he listens to her. It's just like she's able to get him to take his helmet off later in the episode, where when Pinley asked him, he wouldn't do it. Sorry, asked it wouldn't do it. But whenever Mensa does, Sec Unit does eventually listen. So yeah, but he doesn't like to talk at any rate. And this is when.
See, I feel there's some debate of him and it in this episode.
Yeah, there
like
is.
Mensa was starting to call Sec Unit a him, but now everybody's saying it because it did some violence.
Yeah, I think
it was
that,
him until it did some violence.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that they want to see him. She even makes a comment that it's easier for them to see him as somebody who's protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. They're all seeing him more as it because they're afraid to get too close to it. You know what I mean? And if it's violent, then it's bad and they don't want to be a part of it. But when it's helping them and protecting them, then suddenly they're all chummy with it. So yeah, that's a good point. That does sort of change. But Pinley comes out here and says, even though they don't want them to, says that Garathan thinks he's trying to kill him, kill them all. And they're like, you didn't have to say that. And or no, I'm sorry, Pinley doesn't say that. Rathi says it. Pinley says not to say it. Rathi comes out and says that Garathan thinks that he wants to kill everybody. And Pinley says that it didn't deserve to know that because he thinks that, it kind of deserves to know they're talking about it, which I agree. But the thing is, he's listening to everything they say anyway.
They
seem to forget this fact. They constantly forget this fact because this is brought up multiple times. I know even in the episode, Pinley's again like, it's listening to us. Yeah, you shouldn't forget that. It always is. And he, it even says, I don't want to listen to you. I'd prefer not to. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It is a security bot. That's what it's there for. It's connected to your, your systems. I think that you would think they'd figure that out. But this is where I believe it's Pinley wants to see its face and says, why don't you want us to look at you? And he's like, you have no reason to look at me. I'm not a sex bot. So this is where we get back into that conversation. Now, I didn't quite understand. Garathan says, so you don't have a government module, but we can torture you by looking at you. I didn't quite understand. I mean, I know that he meant that it bothers him when they look at him, but I didn't get what he was trying to say. Like, is he asking him why it's, I don't know. I was a little confused by that, the way he said that.
Oh, I thought he was just saying that, like, the Sec Unit doesn't get upset over the big things, but if they just looked at it, it would have problems and it would feel like it was being tortured. Yeah, and I guess also saying, like, you may not have to follow our orders, but you can at least let us look at you, even if it bothers you, I guess, probably in a more, sarcastic way. But that's what... I love that he's making jokes. And again, I question how he knows how to make jokes, but I like it because that's where after he says that, he says, yeah, probably right up until I remember I have guns built into my arms. And nobody even questions that he said that. Nobody mentions the violence at that moment, but also nobody laughs at his joke. I laughed at his joke. I thought it was funny he said that. Because yeah, it's, I like that it just says what it thinks. I really do. But Pinley wants to know what the plan is, and he doesn't have a plan, but he knows that Pinley doesn't either, other than suing them, which is not going to be much help. And this is where he says it says it doesn't want to listen to him, but it has no choice.
And Mensa starts saying, "We're going to talk it all out. We're going to talk about it. We're going to figure it out. Just put your helmet down so we can see you." And he just keeps going, "Nope." He's like, "We're going to hold hands." "Nope, absolutely not." And I like to, what I realized I hadn't really thought about before, but you can tell the difference of like his response to her and what's in his head, because it's got like a sort of crackly radio sound when he's actually responding. Because at first I thought it was in his head, but no, him refusing. He's outright refusing. He's like, "Nope, absolutely not." He's like,
I
"Why?"
figure most cynical jokes are in the narration.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Mensa does say, this is where she says, and this is what I said earlier. She says that they're lucky to have somebody that is good at combat. Like they need that. She's trying to get him to see that she, I guess, values him.
Oh yeah, Another thing is if you use closed captioning, the narration's usually italicized and the regular talk isn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
so
true.
you can tell. I always use closed captioning. That's probably how I can always tell what's narration, what isn't.
Yeah, I did this time, but I didn't even think about it, to be honest. It's added. It's not like from the network, so sometimes it's different.
Yeah.
But this is where again I think it was meant as a sarcastic joke. He's like, when she says they're not into comedy, he says, "Unless you got a mining drill in your hands." I don't know. I definitely thought it was meant to be a joke, but
I thought so too.
Yeah, that's why I'm just surprised he's learning to joke, but I like it at any rate.
Well, you learn that he has a sense of humor and imagination.
Yeah, he's becoming more human, even though he's not exactly human. I don't know if that's from the human DNA or what, but yeah, she's like does say that she's going to have to reckon with that, because she has not. I don't think she's quite dealt with that, to be honest. That she was violent to protect Sec Unit, and I don't think that they really embrace violence at all. And
oh
if
no,
you
they're
think,
space hippies.
yeah, yeah, but if you think about it, like she not only was violent and shot somebody, granted it was a robot she shot, but she not only was violent and shot somebody, but she shot somebody to save somebody who wasn't human. So that's probably even harder for her to maybe be able to deal with. But this is where she does say it's easier for everybody to think of you as a person trying to help us. That's how I see you. And that's definitely how she sees him. And I think right now she's the only one that does. I think that Arata's maybe coming around a little bit. I think that Rathi just thinks it's all fun and games and isn't really too concerned. I don't know. Do you think that some of them are kind of, do you agree that there's some of them are kind of seeing him more human, even with the violence?
I kind of think that they were up to a point till he shot Lee BB's head off, and now they're going the other direction.
Yeah. I agree, but I just felt like in this one, like I said, I feel like Arata is maybe coming around, but I feel like she's also saying those things because she's trying to keep the peace. But she does make a point of saying, "Hey," it's at one point she says something like, "We were in danger and he saved us. We would have died."
Yeah.
Basically says they would have died from that centipede thingy if he didn't help them. But yeah, they're not all
died
listening.
so many times.
They would have died. They would have died so many times. You're right. But he does eventually take off the helmet, and as he's doing it, they're making all these comments, and I noticed this part was in the captions I saw, where they're all making these comments behind his back about him being insecure and that he's allowed to have feelings and all these little just side notions while he's taking off his helmet. But then he all of a sudden is just like, "Get in the hopper," and he just starts yelling at them again, and they think that he's just using that as an excuse, and he's kind of like, without saying it, he's what he's thinking, he's like, "No, you're being dumbasses, I'm trying to save your life, get in the freaking hopper." It's like they're like, "We could talk about this," and he's like, "No, because you'll all be dead."
So, get in the hopper.
Yeah, they finally do listen. And sorry, I'm behind the pictures again. That's where Mensa was trying to do the hand holding in the circle again, and that's where he, I think, starts to see that there's a problem. Yeah, and then he gets him in there, he corrals him, and I love that shot. I think that's a great shot. He is going to shoot at him. So yeah, I feel like these people sometimes are so stupid. Like again and
Thank
again, he's saving your life. He's standing there telling you get in the damn, hopper, and they just keep making comments, and nobody pays attention to him. Like you would think by now they would have learned, And I crack up at it
Yeah,
because
because
he's
this is at least the third or fourth time this has happened.
yeah,
And there
I
hasn't
think
been that many episodes, and they're short.
yeah, that's a good point. But we see this
Eh.
centipede thingy again, this huge alien, which is like getting its germs all over the glass, for lack of a better.
Well, germs and other things, Jamie.
No, I know. Yeah, but I mean, at this point, it's
Germs
like
you might not
slobbering all
worry
over.
about so much when you see the other things.
True, true. No, but I just meant it was like slobbering all over.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was holding the gun up like he was going to shoot it, though. And I mean, I would have been afraid it would have broken the hopper and they wouldn't have been able to stay in there. It would have, caused more harm than good. But then we see this alien. I don't know. What do we call the other one's a centipede? I think this one's more like an alien octopus or something. I kind of feel like.
Yeah, kind of like a flower-faced octopus alien. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's a good.
got petals in the face.
That's actually good. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Stranger Thing. The Stranger Things
Yeah,
monster that has like,
the
the metal
Demogorgon.
thing. Yeah,
Demogorgon.
Devin Gordon. That's
Yeah,
Gordon. That's what that reminds me of.
yeah.
But grosser and paler color.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's aiming at it, and this is where uh Grathan says, or no, first, Errata says that they're not, because they think they're going to kill each other. They're fighting each other. And this is where she says, no, they're complementary genders of the same species. And I don't know. I think it's funny, though, because I wrote in my comments, not that they said, just that I said, is like, why are they doing it on top of the ship, though? Like, what is the purpose of them?
Because it was warm. It was
Yeah,
hot.
I guess so. Mensa's
It
like,
was
this is
right.
unexpected. Yeah, and Garathan, who once again doesn't care about anybody but himself, is like, it's going to break through the hull, which he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It could. And he's like, can
Yeah, I
we
thought it
do
was going
anything?
to shatter a glass.
And I think it's funny, too, because he's actually asking Sec Unit's advice right there. And
Mm-hmm.
usually he does not trust him. And he's like, what can we do? What can we do? And he's like, well, we could electrify it. And they're all like horrified by that. Because they don't want to hurt them. Because as Arata says, it's just an animal. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And
Like occasionally eating a person.
And occasionally eating a person, right? I
This
do
one
like the
does.
Sec Unit, though, is like, it's no more revolting than what I watch humans do. So he
Yeah,
clearly
yeah.
is not. I'm not sure if it's that he doesn't see himself as part human or just that he is like asexual. I think it's probably more that he's
Well, he
asexual.
is, because like I was saying in the audiobook, he fast forwards over the sex scenes in Sanctuary Moon. And then he's like, even if I had the appropriate attachments to be a sex bot, I'd find it boring.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's very asexual. But to be fair, he doesn't have like he doesn't have emotions because he doesn't have I'm trying to think the right word, like hormones and everything else. Probably doesn't have
the
those
right
kind of
chemicals.
things. He doesn't have the right chemicals. Yeah. So yeah, he's very bored by that, but he's like, oh, it's just as bad when you guys do it. He doesn't tell them that, but that's what it is.
Yes.
I do think, though, they have put a lot of money clearly into this show, but those aliens do look really cool.
A lot of money into alien lovemaking.
Yeah, it's odd, like the
80% of the
way that
budget.
they decided to do it too. Like the centipede is, they're completely different type of creatures that don't really, I don't know, fit together right.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, I know they're wrapped around, but it does look like an octopus. I'm gonna
Yeah.
definitely say it's an octopus. I'm wondering if, oh no, it isn't. I was gonna say, I was wondering if the chat just wasn't updating, but no, everybody's quiet tonight. You guys, I see we have people. You guys are quiet. You need to give us your thoughts here.
They're all thinking about your birthday ideas, Jamie.
Yeah, maybe. Arata seems to be interested in it. She wants to like study it or whatever and find out more about it. But they come out and
wow.
Yeah, there's the egg sacs that like I don't know. In the original, I didn't see they had like the animation in it. That was added. They like their whatever.
You gotta crack a couple of egg sacs to get a good protein breakfast.
Yeah. They want to get rid of the egg sacs, which I don't blame them. But Arad is just investigating. She's like the scientist or whatever, and she's talking about the heat from the engines. And Rathy's like, oh, so it wasn't just casual sex because they had these eggs.
Yes.
So that, yeah, it was funny. But Grathan wants to get rid of them, and Arad is worried it could kill them. So Mensa, who's the one obviously that's in charge, decides they're just going to leave them there for now. And again, this is in his head, so they don't hear it. But this is where it says they didn't ask me, but like I would have destroyed them, but no one asked me.
Yes.
But yeah, it was wrong. So in the end, I guess it was good they didn't listen to him in this sense. But they're thinking maybe they'll just hatch and then leave. And this is when he does realize, and it took, I know you're there, Monster. Thank you. You guys are just quiet tonight. This is where he realizes, and I'm surprised it took him so long to realize it, especially when it happened, in the other episode, which is why he kind of berates himself for it. He's like, I'm standing around like an idiot and forgot, he basically is what he says, that the other sec units can jam his signal that lets him know they're there. So this whole time he's been just kind of shitting around. There's another sec unit there. And he starts to tell them, and this is where they try to help. And it is shooting at them, and they're like throwing things at it, trying to attack it. Errata there like tries to punch it whenever it shoots at Rathy, I think. I can't remember. And sec unit gets knocked down. I thought I had a picture of the one. I don't.
It's kind of a ludicrous display of the space beast trying to fight.
Yeah, they're not.
Like they just want to run up to this death machine and like she just run up to it.
That's why I thought I had. I thought I had the picture of it. I think it's funny because sec unit picks her up and pulls her back, and she's like still kicking in midair, like trying to
do some slap fighting.
Yeah, it didn't work. And sec unit says, where'd it go? Says they're trying to help, which didn't help at all. But he's like, it pissed me off, but it kind of appreciated. So I think the sec unit's like, yeah, they're actually trying to help. I mean, I don't know if they were doing it to protect him so much as protect the other people, but still, they're trying, but they're cowering in fear, as you can see. And why do I not? Oh, okay, it's there.
Oh, you had to go back to this part where the
centipede thing comes up all of a sudden and grabs this sec unit and rips its head off because he shot this robot shot the egg sac, and it's like, killing my babies, no. So it rips his head off.
Exactly.
You don't touch, and which is why it's good they left the egg sac there. But it completely rips his head off.
It's like one shot without the head, one shot with the head.
Yeah. And then it goes and it grabs. There's a shot of it taking the egg sac, and they're all shocked. And this is where I think he says something like he's glad that after all they didn't move it. And this is where I saw the captions, and I'm not sure who was talking, but I saw somebody in the captions go, "Fuck my life." So yeah, I just thought it was. I don't know. It struck me as funny, but
I could see just about any of those characters saying that at that moment.
They could. I don't know who said it, but I'm curious. I kind of want to go back and find out. But Grathan is, I don't know if he passed out or almost passed out, but he is clearly still hurt and needs to go to get help, whether it will put them in danger or not. Oh, also there's a comment about Rathy tried to hug him, and that's where okay, and he says fate intervened. That was whenever he
he has that fever. He's got space madness.
But he's sec unit, like, you can't go back. I mean, sec unit is his job. Its job is to protect them at all costs, and it's saying, hey, you go back, you're going to probably all end up dead. I'm advising against it. And I think this
for about the fifth time.
Yeah, for about the fifth time. But this is obviously where they're teaching him humanity,
Mhm.
because she's like, no, this is what we there's that kind of looks like him. I know it's not, but it kind of looks like
It'd be
him.
weird if it was him.
It would. I know. I thought that too.
Like all the
But
sec units look the same in the face. It'd be really crazy.
yeah, we know they don't, but it would be cool. And well, I don't know if it'd be cool, it'd be interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're teaching him humanity in this instance, and she's saying, no, we take care of each other. It doesn't matter if it risks our life. This is what we're doing, and you can come with us if you want, but we're going, whether you like it or not. And he's like, great, so now I'm the bad guy. So yeah, and I think maybe he realizes. I mean, I'm hoping that it realizes that does, I guess, make them is what makes them human, because that's also what Mensa did for him. I mean, she came back to rescue him, even though he clearly told her more than once that time to leave when she came back and saved him. They do stupid, naive things if it means they save their friends. And I definitely think that I think he had started to become one of the team. And you're right. I think it kind of changed it, but he's becoming still part of the team. Now he's saved them again. And obviously she still thinks of him as a team member. So, yeah. But sorry, I went I know I always say that, but I went really fast, didn't I? Because we are less than
I
an
don't
hour.
know. That's like twice as long as the episode.
No, it is. But I mean longer. I feel like I went shorter than normal. I feel like anyway. Usually we're here for over an hour. But yeah, that of course we know it's like a short episode, and as usual, it always ends on sort of a cliffhanger. But yeah, I feel like he has things to teach them. They have things to teach him. They just don't listen when he tries to help them.
So what was the cliffhanger to this one? I just watched it. So they're getting back into the ship is
just
the
that
cliffhanger?
they're going back. That they're going back to help Garathan, and that they could all die. I mean, it wasn't as much of a cliffhanger as some of the other ones, but it was still
he's saying that one of you die or all of you die. If you go back, all of you die. But if one person could die if we stay here.
Yeah, and they're not willing to to take that into
because like the Murderbot would play the odds, whereas the humans won't.
Right. Yeah, they like I said, they're teaching him kind of what it means to be human, and I like that she, just like how he's not listening to them, they don't have to listen to him, and she's like, this is what we're doing, deal with it, and you can come or not. I'm kind of curious though what would have happened if he's like, okay, I'll just stay here. you know?
I was hoping he'd say that, so he'd just stay there, like he'd just wander the planet.
Yeah, that would kind of be funny. Kimberly says it's more of like, okay, I'm getting into the episode and ready for it to get into the action, and then the episode ends. It does. It does that continuously. And I don't know. I would have preferred personally the show to be even 5 episodes that were an hour long, but
or they just put 2 episodes together.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, I understand why they do it, and it does make it nice that it's easy to digest. But at the same time, it always seems way too short. I feel like I'm always disappointed that it's ending. Like what Kimberly's saying, you're always like, no, like I just am starting to get it's starting to get good. We want to see what happens. Yeah, and we only have 3 left, so I don't know if there's going to be a second season. I mean, there's definitely the content for it, but I guess it depends how it's doing. I'm honestly not sure how exactly it's doing. I haven't really heard,
I haven't really looked it up to see like what if there's a Rotten Tomatoes or a critical rating.
Right. No, neither have I. But I mean, I like it. I hope it comes back. It's a nice. I don't know. It's an interesting show because it gives you some things to think about. But like I said, it's short, it's sweet. You don't have to delve into it too much if you don't want to. It's still enjoyable, and I do very much appreciate the sarcasm. That's still my favorite part of the show, whether it's now out loud or when it was before in his head. Although I wish he would take his helmet off more.
I bet you would.
Well, no, but I mean, just in general, like it's sometimes disconcerting because you don't see his face. But I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
They want you feel that, I'm sure. But I'm also curious if they do get a second season, like if as time goes on, it'll keep its helmet off more as it becomes more, a member of the
The
team.
team, yeah.
The team.
The
Yeah.
team.
The team. They don't have previews either, do they? I was gonna say, did they show it was coming?
No, they don't have any previews and they don't have any recaps.
Yeah.
I think
Do
a
you
recap
think-
would be good if people were just getting into it and wanting to spend 20 minutes watching something. A little bit of a recap might, make more
Yeah,
people.
well, I agree, but they also might think it's not that much to go back and watch it. It's not that long.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, this is like the second sec unit that's come after them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the same. I can't remember. Was the other one torn apart or just smashed into the ground? I still don't think it's supposed to be the same
It was
one.
flattened.
Yeah, so it's not the same one.
No.
So I question, are they is somebody, whoever's doing this, going to send somebody else after them? I would say probably, and they still need to leave. And clearly he thinks they're still in danger. Kelly says, I think it's doing good in the ratings. I hope there's another season. I like it. I do too. I enjoy it.
There's a whole series of novellas. So
yeah,
I'm like halfway through the first audiobook.
Yeah.
All Symptoms Read.
Yeah,
and I mean, so far, it's kind of followed the action that is in, from at least Murderbot's view, and also, Murderbots are called Murderbots. So his name Murderbot is just because the Murderbots are called Murderbots.
You mean as security units, they're called Murderbots?
Yeah. He didn't name himself Murderbot in the audiobook in the book.
Yeah. That's strange that they changed that, because that's like an important, I don't know, something big they added to it that kind of changes context, in my opinion.
It almost makes him seem like he isn't a Murderbot, and that, I mean, it isn't a Murderbot, and that it has that loop, that murder loop.
Yeah,
that they haven't really the showrunners really haven't come back to yet. They doesn't know what it is exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where it's kind of confusing, though, of the fact that it did choose that name. And that's why I said I don't remember that being in the original one. I don't know if I just didn't remember seeing it or if they added it in after, but I don't know. That, to me, him naming himself that is such an important thing that they changed. That's really surprising. But I know I probably won't get around to reading it anytime soon. But I do want to, especially hearing where it goes and stuff. It sounds like it's a really good book. I just know I probably won't have the time to devote to it.
Yeah, so far I've listened to half of it, and it's just followed action, like when they get attacked by the caterpillar the first time, and then going and exploring the chunks of the map that aren't there.
That's pretty much what?
The map.
Oh, the map. Okay, I thought you said the math. Yeah. No. I mean, that makes sense. And I think that I'm assuming that they'll probably explain more about why parts of it are being hidden or being not marked on the map, that the corporation is.
I'm curious if Libibi is in the book.
Yeah, I am.
Or if she's a character that's made for the TV show.
I feel like that could go either way, and I wouldn't be surprised whether she was created or not. Because she does seem like something that might have been made for television, but yet, I mean, it also makes a lot of sense to the story. So, yeah. So, what else? I wish there was more than 3 episodes left. I mean, I just think we don't get a whole lot of episodes. But...
Yeah, there's also an audiobook that's supposed to be like a movie audiobook that has sound effects and probably different people reading the parts, but it's a little longer. It seems like it's a lot longer than this one where a person reads it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on audiobooks. I think I have a better chance of reading it if I actually read it.
Yeah. I like it when I'm watching a TV show so I can compare and contrast.
No, yeah, that's why I said I wish I had time. I just think I have a better chance of reading it. It's faster to read it to me. I know it depends on the person, but to me, it's just faster to just read it. But I know I won't.
But the book being first person, though, you don't get these scenes where like the people were making the robots. You don't get that. You don't get the bittersweet game gameplay that the space hippies are doing.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it. A TV show that makes it nice. I mean, they can do it in a book, but they have to switch their the point of view around, and it doesn't always work with the
Yeah.
when they're adapting it. Sometimes you can't really, or even not even just adapting it, even just writing a book. Sometimes I think it doesn't really work when you keep switching perspective. But I know sometimes they do that. But
well, if it's called Murderbot Diaries, you're gonna think that Murderbot's the
that's
one writing the diary, and
that's a
I don't
good
know if
point.
it's even a diary really, in the traditional sense.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say it. If it's inner monologue too, it doesn't sound like it is.
It isn't like
But
Murderbot's got a pen and it's like, "Dear diary."
yeah, I doubt he would. Well, maybe he recorded it. Who knows?
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to read what that said. I can't. It's like not popping up. I get notifications.
There wasn't any Sanctuary Moon in this because you couldn't watch the shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I do they is I'm assuming that's in the book too, though, right? About
Oh
this.
yeah, it's called The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon.
Mhm. It's nice though that we get to actually see pieces of the show, because I'm assuming it doesn't go really into the show. So that's
Murderbot just describes like different scenes, like a couple scenes in it so far.
sorry. I keep yawning. I yawn when I think about yawning. I try not to yawn, and then I yawn more.
Well, it's early in the morning.
It is. It's already 1 o'clock.
It's
I
not
guess
like
it's
out of the way
illegal.
to like be yawning at this time of day or night.
Yeah, it's illegal that I haven't gotten sleep and I'm yawning. Um, but yeah, I do, like I said, I do want to try to read it. I just don't foresee myself having time anytime soon, at least
Mm-hmm.
not for a while. But I'm glad you're reading it, because I do like to hear about
Yeah.
the differences and everything.
Well, I had to get the audiobook because I couldn't get the book because all the copies are on hold in the library. So it must be really popular, a really popular
Well,
series.
I think a lot of times whenever a TV show or a movie or something that's an adaptation comes out, people start going after the book.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. But yeah, I am curious, like what kind of things they've changed and added and everything. But I think what sounds interesting to me is the fact that, like they were talking before in the chat about that it changes its appearance, and like sounds
Mm-hmm.
like pretends to be human at times. Maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Or
sounds
can
cool.
change its eye color or hair length or
Yeah,
height.
changes it. Well, that's really cool. Well, I mean, it is a cyborg, so
Mm-hmm.
it is a cyborg. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything? I don't know if I have anything else specific
Yeah.
to the episode. I'm trying to think what else about the episode. They're so short. It's hard sometimes to like keep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm still trying to pull things from it and run out of ideas, or I'm repeating the same thing. Um,
I was just thinking more about that could make itself like 2 feet tall in order to get into something, or 8 feet tall in order to reach something.
That'd be funny. Yeah, they could do I think like they could do a lot of comedic stuff with this if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And really put I don't know that I want to see it go too far, but some of that would be funny to see, I think. I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind checking out. But I guess that remains to be seen whether they go there, and it also, I guess, depends whether they get a season 2 as
Mm-hmm.
well. I don't know how it's doing. I really don't. Kelly said she thinks it's doing good, but I just don't know. I'm
Yeah,
honestly
just
not
look it
sure.
up.
But
Look it up
yeah,
right now and see how it's going.
that's what I was going to do.
Just type it in.
Apple. Oh, excuse me. Sorry guys. Good rigs. Apple tends to, and I mean, Apple does tend to renew things. So,
Yeah.
according to Google AI, which I don't know how accurate that is, it says that it's doing good. It sounds like it's doing really good, if that's to be believed, at least on Rotten Tomatoes and Internet Movie Database. Some of the critics, it says Metacritic sounds like it's not as high. I don't even know what it necessarily goes by if it's not to do with how many views and stuff. But it sounds like it's doing okay. So hopefully it'll come back. And I think they want to bring it back. I mean, it sounded to me from everything I've heard that like they want to, if they can. And they definitely, like I said, they definitely have the content for it.
Yeah.
So I'll be
I
interested.
think there's
to
five novellas, if I'm not mistaken.
That you would know more than I do because you've looked at them.
Yeah.
How many Murderbot novellas
Books are there?
Yeah. Yep, you are correct. There's All Systems Red, Artificial Condition, Rogue Protocol, Exit Strategy, and Fugitive Telemetry. So I guess. Well, wait, there's novels too. It says there's novellas, novels, and short stories. So there's 7 books and 2 short stories. So yeah, they could get more than that. Interesting. It also has about, like, if you look it up, about chronologically how you should read it. But I'm guessing that this one's the first one, All Systems Red. So
yeah.
But
well, if you started the audiobook, you would know because it starts with that caterpillar scene. It just starts right with it, the attacking alien caterpillar.
Cool. But I mean, yes, it starts at the beginning. But I mean, if there was another novella first, it could still do that. But it is, I think, I'm pretty sure supposed to be the first one.
You'd hope so.
So. Yeah, well, hopefully. I also question, like, is the story, did they do like the full novella is season 1? Because if that's the case,
I think so. I think that's the way it's going to go because I'm halfway through and it's just been the action of season 1, pretty much.
Well, if that's the case, though, that means that they've got a lot of content to pull from.
Yeah.
But then again, sometimes on shows like this, sometimes they will do the first season based on one book, and then the second season could be who knows what.
Yeah, that's true. It depends on the characters they have, and if they introduce new characters and they want to do backstories on them and the like.
Yeah, I'm curious too if are they all about this group, or is it just all about Murderbot and he's with a different group each time?
I don't know. It'd be interesting if it was a different group each time, like an anthology, but
yeah, it would be. Group. And that could
Murderbot
work
across the universe.
So I kind of don't want that to happen. I'm just saying it could work. But yeah, I like it at any rate.
I'll probably finish the audiobook. I mean, it's a quick audiobook, so I'll probably finish it the next couple days.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, well, tell us what.
I want to kind of give it a little bit of time. I almost thought about doing it an hour at a time because I kind of want to do it. I don't want to get ahead.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
I made the mistake. I mean, I did it on purpose and I knew I was doing it, but earlier today I read up more on Revival comic because I was doing the interview and I was reading up on the character, and I ended up reading like the whole rest of the story, and I don't know why I did, because I knew I was reading it, and it wasn't like I accidentally read it. I mean, it was like, this is the plot of the comic, and it was like saying it has a full story because they knew when it was going to end and all this. So yeah, I pretty much know the whole, assuming they don't have to go the same way. It could go different, but I mean, I pretty much know like the whole plot of where they're going, and I kind of wish I didn't, and it's my own fault. But I still enjoy it, and I don't think it matters necessarily to me. I know some people would, but yeah, that's why I think if you're going to read it, like, maybe it's better to go, along with it concurrently. I just figured if I was going to get the comic book, I would know what happened anyway. So what difference did it make was my my rationale earlier today anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see this being a graphic novel. Like, I could Murderbot.
Yeah.
I think it would like this one, because a lot of the action I think would fit into it. Well,
so any predictions for the future of Photo? Is this guy gonna die? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think Garathan's gonna die. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking like how Garathan has like the augment the augmentations and stuff, and like
Mm.
help to get that chip out of him. Like it would be pretty interesting to me if Sec Unit like tried to help him. I don't know that he will, but I think it'd be cool if he did. Um, but yeah, I mean, my main prediction at this point is just that I think somebody else is probably going to come after them, and he's probably right because he tends to be right, and they just don't listen. But yeah, I don't think they're going to die, and I don't think uh, Garathan's. I mean, they're not all going to die clearly, and I don't think Garathan's going to die either.
Mm-hmm.
Did I read the whole season? No, Muncher. I just meant I read the Wikipedia on what the comic was about. Well, the comic series is what I read. So it told the basic outline, like why it was happening, who the murderer was, that kind of thing. So pretty much the main important parts.
Oops.
But I don't know details. I just know the main beats of what's going to happen. And I did it, and yeah, I kind of read it. But it's okay. I still really like the show, and I'm okay with that.
But now you gotta keep it quiet as you're doing lives.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not like
out of the bag.
read it. It's not like it's, you know what I mean? It's not spoiler per se. It's from the comic, and it's who's to know, to say if they're going to go that way.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
I just kind of didn't think. I guess I thought that if I read it and I found things out, like it would be a little bit of the story, not like the whole trajectory of the story if it goes on for a couple years. Although who knows? Maybe the end of season 1 would be the end of that. I mean, we don't really know, but yeah, I don't know. I should have left it alone, but it's okay. I still want to see it, and I do kind of want to read the comics anyway, so it's all good as long as I'm enjoying it and don't, like you said, don't spoil it to somebody else. Then it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's out. I mean, it's not like it's not available to everybody. I just am usually better than that, and was like, why did you do that, you idiot? But it is what it is, and it's too late now. But who knows if they'll follow the same path. I mean, I could see them doing something different. It's hard to tell because a lot of the stuff that seems to be in there, I don't think is in the series. So I don't know. Don't know. But yeah, I mean, if you get too far ahead in Murderbot, you could have the same issue. But
yeah,
I think it probably is just, excuse me, the first novella. I would be surprised if it was more than that. What you asked me? What are you predicting? Are you looking forward to anything? Predicting anything?
I have no idea. They're kind of going back and forth here. Like they went, got attacked, did some stuff, came back, got attacked. It's like they periodically get attacked. Get attacked by Caterpillar, then get attacked again, then get attacked by Libby, then get attacked again by Caterpillar.
Yeah.
The prediction will be they'll get attacked again, probably by those other sec units. Maybe they're following them. Maybe the sec units will follow them.
Maybe they're also though not listening to him. They need to listen more. But yeah, I mean, I think definitely that somewhere at some point the corporation's going to get involved more because like they have to, or at least maybe not get involved, but like they'll find out, I guess, how they're involved, because we know that it seems like to me that the corporation is hiding things. So I feel like we got to get as much as we might not get everything this season. I feel like they're going to give some kind of answers about what's going on with the maps and with if they are hiding things, if they're purposely doing things, if they're the ones coming after them. I don't know. I would think that some of that they would have to, at a certain point, reveal.
Or what's in the other areas of the map.
Yes.
What horrible things are going on that they had to take those parts away from the map.
Yeah. What are they hiding?
Where are they hiding? Yes.
Probably soon. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 episodes ago. There's probably going to be a reveal.
Yeah, there's not too much left, guys. I think we get through it, but yeah, it's kind of sucks. There's only an hour and a half left though, but yeah, it's short and sweet, I guess. But I don't know. What about you guys in the chat? Do you have any predictions or anything you want to hear us talking about before we wrap it up? Or
any shipping?
Any shit thing? Is that what you said?
I mean, there's not as many. There's not like a shipper like it is with the
Oh,
Librarians.
ship
Or
thing. Okay, I thought you
somebody
said
wants to
shit
ship.
thing. Any
No.
ship thing. Yeah,
Ship.
I do find Mensa and Garathan's, relationship interesting. Like, I don't know that I necessarily ship them, but I don't know. I'm curious where it's going. And curious if she's ever going to get a clue, because just like she's like, oh, you're delirious or whatever when she's asking if she has feelings. Like, I don't know that she would have feelings for Sec Unit. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but still, like, he clearly, I ship myself in Sec Unit. Yeah. I'll go with that. Me too. or the human
with
part
the
of Sec Unit
attachments,
with
he
the
finds. I mean,
attachment.
it finds boring.
Yeah, you need the attachment. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. That would be interesting though, if I mean, I don't know that Sec Unit could ever have a relationship, but it could be interesting. But yeah, I think he's very
Well, there's like 4 more novellas, and would you say 2
but
books, and then
yeah, but still, I mean,
some
he's
short
still
stories.
like not human, and that's kind of the point. I think he's very asexual. Could that change? I don't know. Do we want it to change? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um
Does it
it
want
would
it to change? Who
Does it
knows?
want it to change? Yeah, we don't know. I mean, it could, but I don't necessarily foresee that happening. I don't think that's what this show is, and I don't
Yeah.
think we necessarily need that. But yeah, that could be interesting. I'm not sure. That's really the only part that's like something that's seems to be like hinted at that really isn't in the story to talk about. Like,
Hmm.
there's not. I mean, like, there's some things that are more deep, but that's like the one thing that they sort of allude to that they don't really talk about.
Hmm.
So I am curious, but
Like in the audiobook, I can't remember which one has a relationship, whether it was part of a quadrangle, I guess, like a 4-person relationship, and they had a bunch of kids. I don't know if that was Mensa in the books, because I know she has a lot of kids, right?
yeah, it sounded like she had more than one partner, so it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if they're
he
trying
can
to say
take
that.
off, and there's still 3 people to take care of the kids.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to say that that's prevalent in their world in their time, considering that
Yeah.
there's another couple there, or if it's
Hmm.
just they're trying to be more open. I don't know. It's interesting that if there's 2 different characters that are, but
Yeah.
that are, because usually that's not something you see in a lot of shows, and to have
Yeah.
like 2 characters that are in that kind of relationship is interesting. But I don't
Mhm.
know whether they'll ever go into that or not, because we don't really know much about their personal lives. I would like to know more about Garathan though, like, especially if he was a spy. Like, I want to know more about him, because I do think
Yeah.
he's the interesting
Yeah, that
character.
was kind of like a little bomb they dropped and then just went away from.
Yeah, and like I said,
I
like,
was like,
if he
really?
was
Wow,
addicted
that's
to these,
interesting. Are you still
but
addicted to
also if he
drugs?
was,
No, we're gonna
yeah,
drop it.
yeah,
Sorry.
but I mean, if he was addicted to these drugs and the corporation was the only one that had whatever he needed or whatever did it to string him along, like, I have to
Yeah,
question, well, how did he get away from that? I
yeah. How do you
mean,
get off the drugs?
yeah, I would, unless she helped him off them, I don't
Yeah,
know. But I would
she
like
had
to,
natural hippie cures to get him off the junk.
maybe, but I would like to know more about that. So I can move my seat. Yeah, that would be different. I agree, Kimberly. It would be interesting. So maybe we'll get more of that. The problem is with such a short show, I don't know if we'll get, very much of it. We don't get a whole lot of the relationships or anything. And that's why I think it would be nice if it was a longer show, because I feel like as much as it's nice and doesn't take a lot of investment, I feel like there's a lot you don't get because of that. Like, there's not a lot of character development. And I'm not saying that there isn't enough character development or I don't care about the characters. I like the characters.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an ensemble, so it's not even like it's just 2 characters or something. There's a few, and I personally would like to know more about each of them. And the only one we really, well, I guess we really don't know about Mensa that much either, though. We know, I feel like we get an idea who Mensa is by her personality more so than the other characters, but we don't know into her personal life.
Mm-hmm.
The only ones we actually, I would say probably the ones we know the most about them personally is the throuple, because they're having a relationship and we get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only ones that we get to know much about in that sense. because we don't see their personal stuff. And we know that Garathan has an unhealthy crush on her, and that's about all we really know. So yeah, I definitely would like more character development. It's not necessary, but I think it would make it for me more enjoyable to have more to delve into. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to find in the audiobooks. I thought maybe it would have a backstory or something, which would be probably difficult within the frame of a diary.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Well, I mean, a lot of stories are first person, but yeah, they do usually have to find a way around that, like that hurdle of not being able to.
Like Murderbot just gets data on a character.
Yeah, he can download all the data
Gets
he
the
needs.
tea.
That's a good point.
Murderbot spills the
Gets
tea.
the tea. You know, I love how they've done promo things with him as Murderbot.
Oh yeah.
Like there's this, did you see, it was on, I don't know what it was on Instagram or something. I saw they had, and I don't know who the guy was. I think he was supposed to be like a known artist that was in New York. I mean, I don't know who it is, but the man was like asking to sketch Murderbot, asking if he could. And like he's sitting down and talking to him and asking him all these questions. And it's just like a bizarre thing. And in the end, he clearly drew a picture of Alexander Skarsgård, even though he didn't have his mask down. So that part was a little confusing to me. But it was neat that they kind of had like a promo as him, of him as a character instead of his as the actor. I like when they do that. Like I saw something, it looks like maybe he did an AMA or something too, but I don't know. Why do I always have trouble? I need to get... Sorry, this weather is like, I always say it, but it's true. My allergies have been so bad, and I'm like getting headaches from it. I'm like, I need it.
Well, it's been about 96, feels like 105 here.
Yeah,
so.
there has been. We had tons of warnings today. Like you weren't supposed to go outside because of the weather being so high. I don't know. Tomorrow, I think I'm finally going to get to swimming. I've just been waiting to be able to swim, and I couldn't.
I take a walk anyway, but I take a walk around 8:00.
Yeah, you have to go early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do well with extreme weather. I don't think I could walk out when it's like hot. I just don't.
You don't think you can live in the desert?
No, I could live. Well, but then it's dry. At least it's not humid in the desert.
But no, I think it's 115 degree day. I don't think there's much difference between humid and dry.
But no, yeah. But no, I just mean like if it's hot, I can't stand to walk outside. Like it's too miserable, and it just makes me crabby. And I'm just like, no, I'll walk on a treadmill.
It creates the anger in me as well. So I understand.
Yeah, you get. I don't know. I get very. I definitely get very irritable when I get hot. I do, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not good with extreme temperatures though either way, because I can't spend a lot of time in really cold weather though either, because I mean we have cold weather here, but I mean outside, because like if I go outside, I get like, it's really weird. I get like these welts like on my skin from the cold air.
I get those like in summertime.
Sorry?
I get those like in summertime, but I don't get them in the winter.
No, it's
crazy.
Not. Yeah, no, it's in the winter, and it's not like hives or anything. It's like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's like big welts. They just kind of like, it's on my skin, and it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't make me sick or anything. It just, I can feel it, and it's just like I don't know, my skin reacts to the cold weather. Because I used to get like, when I was little and would go out and like try to make a snowman or something, like I would end up with my face like that. And
cold weather doesn't bother me. I can walk around at below 9. Below 9 degrees and 9 below, and I'm fine. But man, it gets over, and I don't love weather that's over like 80, but I can tolerate it up to a certain point. I think I got more tolerance because when I lived in California, I had friends that had houses in Arizona, so I go to Arizona a lot. So I have a tolerance, but I don't like it.
I like the hot weather. I just don't like it unless I'm like able to like swim. If I'm in the pool, then I like the hot weather, but like to
105 degree day.
Otherwise, I mean, you don't want it to be that hot, but
another thing is when it's 115 in Arizona, it's like a dry heat, but if you bring a sandwich out to eat, it'll become a crouton within like about 5 seconds. It's that dry. I brought food out and I'm like, why did I eat the sandwich in here and not in the house? It's now crunchy toast.
Yeah. I can get really hot. I don't know. I've never been there, but I know that it's dry. It's better though than humidity, I think. I'd rather be in, I think, dry heat than humidity, even higher. But I don't know. Everybody's so different with the weather. I know whenever I was in Albuquerque for the I think for Midnight Texas. Like, I guess where I'm from, obviously it gets colder because I remember
Mm-hmm.
we were all like, should we take a jacket when we go to the set for the day? And I remember the people like around there at the hotel and the people that were even worked at the place are like, bring a jacket. It gets chilly during the day. And this was like, I can't remember. It was pretty much winter here. I mean, it wasn't quite winter, but it was cold. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't nice out or anything. And we got there, and even when we were up in even though we were like in a higher elevation or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
their chili was like, I don't know, 60 or something. I don't even
65.
remember. I don't remember at this point. It might have been lower than that. But I
Yeah,
just
like
know that
yeah, when I yeah.
the temperature was warmer there than it had been at here where I'm at now. And like when we went there, I'm like, dude, it's nice and warm. It's like I don't need a jacket. This is warm out.
Yeah,
I'll live in our weather
that's
for a
when
little
I go
bit.
visit my friends in the winter and they just want to sit around their house because it's freezing outside. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go out because it's a nice like 60-degree day. It's like spring. I'm gonna go out and do
Yeah,
some stuff. If you guys don't
yeah.
want to, it's
Not
fine. But I'm
that's
gonna go
not
outside. And they're
very
like, oh my God,
cold.
it's freezing. They're like got parkas and stuff on, 65.
Yeah,
Got some boots on.
they're definitely not used to it then. But yeah, I thought it was nice out. But I don't know. I'm funny though because I'm also the person that I will keep go like if I want to swim, like I will go out until really you can't because
Hmm.
I if it's like 80, it's warm enough to swim. If I
Hmm.
want to go out. I mean, not that I do all the
Yeah.
time, but like when summer's ending and I want to still be able to use the pool, like I'll go out and freeze my ass off and still be going underwater.
Yeah, I did that too when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, yes, I am getting too old for it. Sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? I go out and then I'm like, why did I do this? But no, I
Yeah.
just enjoy swimming and I feel like I don't get enough of it, partially just because the weather here is not, it takes forever to get warm enough. Like the weather was so messed up and now it's like hot all the time all of a sudden, but it didn't
Hmm.
have time to get warm and you didn't know it was coming. And it's like we didn't have the pool ready and it's like, now I want to swim.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's to me, it's something relaxing. I need to like, I don't know. Somehow they need to make like a waterproof computer. I'd sit out there all day and do my work. That's the thing that sucks. Like when I can't be out there because
Yeah.
I want to go out. I want to go out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wish I had a pool, man. I had a pool
Well,
when I was a
it's
kid.
an above ground. I mean, it's not like a big pool, but it's
Yeah,
still
even
cool.
that though. I thought about getting a kiddie pool and just putting it on my lawn.
It'd be fun, hey, if it cools you off.
Uh,
I would say though, like if we did live streams during the day, I know we don't, but like I would consider doing it out from the pool, like because I was thinking of that, but I don't stay out that late, so it wouldn't help. But
yeah,
like it would be fun to like just use a cell phone. I would turn my camera off, but like use a
yeah,
cell phone and talk to people and be like, hey, I'm out here. Wait, I'm gonna go underwater. Don't mind me. I don't know. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm in a weird
I was thinking
mood.
about going to Lake Michigan this weekend once it starts cooling down. Go swim in Lake Michigan. Go swim in lakes, even though there's problems with swimming in lakes sometimes. But
Yeah, yeah, you wanna be careful, but no, I get
yeah,
that. I We don't live near the water. Well, we live near a creek. You don't wanna swim in there. We don't
the
live near
crick,
nice water.
the
We don't live
crick
near nice water. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've been to, like I went to Virginia once, and I've obviously been to California, but I
on the
haven't
ocean.
but yeah, but not like much. Like I'd like to. I really need a vacation. That's what I need. Period. I know Karen's not going to be around this week. I'm like, you're going out when it's my birthday. I want to go out. She's going to Alaska though. I don't know that that would be where I
Oh,
would
she's
choose
going
to
to
go.
Alaska. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's
No,
she
it's
doing in
still cool. I
Alaska?
don't know it's where I would choose if it were up to me, but it's still a cool vacation. It's better than where I am, which is at home doing nothing. Well, not doing nothing. That's not
Yeah,
entirely true, but
cool.
you know what I mean. Yeah, but I don't know. I need it. I definitely need somebody who needs a vacation. I think actually now that I think about it, really the last vacation, like a night, I mean, other than like, taking a day off and not doing work, the last
Yeah,
vacation I've actually gone somewhere. I was trying to think. I think it's actually stuff I've done that was like for press. Like
yeah.
usually if I went to a press tour, like because we'd get to stay at the hotel cheaper, like I would use that for my vacation and I stayed like
Hmm.
multiple days, even though it was only like a day long or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
trying to think, I think probably the last time I was somewhere was either in Albuquerque or in Toronto. I think it was Albuquerque. I think that actually might have been the last time. And that was probably, I don't know, I guess not 10 years ago because Florida was 10 years ago, but at
Yeah.
least six, maybe. It was a while ago. I need a vacation, is my point in that whole conversation.
Hmm.
but
Yeah, I like to take a vacation in some place where there's a steampunk con, because that's usually when I'm taking my vacations.
Yeah,
Which
that'd be cool.
they're in fun
No, I've gone to
places.
conventions. I have gone to conventions, but I'm talking
Yeah.
like a
Hmm.
vacation where like you don't do anything but like relax, I guess is I consider a little different. Like I haven't gone, and
Mm.
although that's true though, I say that. And then Albuquerque, I guess really I didn't really do that either. It was all press stuff. Really, the last time
Yeah.
I went and actually had a like where you take the time off and relax and it wasn't part of the business part of it. Actually,
Hmm.
I think was probably when I went to Florida, and that was I think 2014. So that was a long time ago. I want to go back there. I don't know. I want to go. We keep talking about as a family, like we want to go to England,
Oh, nice.
and
You should
France and
go.
everything.
You should
Yeah,
totally
well,
go to England.
I need the money, but my dad's friend, his wife is from France, so we might eventually uh, go down there. But yeah, you need
Mm.
money to do that first. But it would be fun. I'd love to go to Europe. I want to see the castles and
Why can't
also
I?
see like this. I also want to because this is who I am. I'm like obsessed with all kinds of stuff. Like I want to also go and see like the different things that have filmed down there, like Doctor
Yeah.
Who and
Uh-huh.
Harry Potter and all that fun stuff. That would
Yeah.
be my, I think, ideal vacation. Sappy but true.
I had a vacation. It was, I mean, me and my ex went down the like West Coast, but we stopped where all the Twin Peaks stuff had been filmed, so we could get a slice of cherry pie at the cafe,
That's
and
cool. You
you
get it. You
know,
get it.
see
Yeah, I
around
went
its
on.
bridge and all that. It's the only TV show I've ever done that for, but
Well,
you
that's cool.
know,
No, I went on when I went to Vancouver and did go on the X tour for X Files. Not that that surprises
mm-hmm.
anybody. And I saw some X File family locations. But I also went when I went to GateCon for Stargate. I went on. They had different bus tours as part of the convention, and they went to all different locations, which was a lot of fun. I like that kind of stuff. Like to me, that is like definitely worth the time and getting to see where they film stuff. But I think that depends on on the person.
Mm-hmm.
But
You have
yeah,
to
I
make
don't know.
sure the whole group's going and wants to do that as well.
Well, yeah, but this was, I mean, that was during a Stargate convention, so it's kind of like
Mm.
everybody wanted to. That was the point.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's nice. I don't know. There's not a whole. I like live in the middle of nowhere. I need to get out and go do something. I don't know. Because I was trying to think like if there was some place I even could go for my birthday. I'm like, where am I gonna go? And I'm like, I could go to the zoo. No, that seems boring. But that was all I could come up with is a zoo or the museum. And I'm like, I don't know. We
I
don't
like
got a
the
lot
zoo.
to
I
do
like
around
zoos and
here.
museums.
No, I do too. But like that was what I came up with: the zoo, the museum. You could go to the movies. You can go to the casino. There's not a whole lot to do.
Oh, there's a
I do not
casino.
live in the city. Yeah, there's casinos, but not big ones or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take $50 and go down and I don't know
Is there
something,
any
but
restaurants you've never been to around your area that you could go to?
not really locally. I mean, maybe if you went to if you go to Pittsburgh, yeah, there's some stuff. There is stuff in Pittsburgh, granted, but I
Yeah.
don't right now. The way things are, it's hard to go to the city and like to go into the city. I don't know what you'd even do. I just haven't really been anywhere for a while. Other than
Yeah.
I mean, I did go to the convention a while ago, but it's been a little bit. But yeah, like I said earlier, my birthday will be consisting of doing the interview for the institute. That is in the afternoon,
Oh.
and then
So
so I'm not. I
you
mean, I'm
get a
not
little Ben
complaining.
Barnes action on your birthday. That's
It is,
exciting.
yeah. Ben Barnes and Joe, what's his name? Joe Freeman, I think, the one that plays the kid. So that'll be fun, but that's
Yeah.
not, that's part of it. And then I don't know, I'll go someplace and then I'll be back for the live stream. So that's why I want to at least do something on our live stream after. But I would like to, I'm trying to think of like what to do. Like I know Lori's like, we'll talk about what you're doing about yourself. And I'm like, well, the only thing I can come up with is talking about the stuff I'm making and like the AI shit that I like to fool around with, which people probably don't want to hear about. But beyond that, I don't know what to talk about. That's why I thought I should maybe do a giveaway. I still have, if I can find them, I was going to give away before The Last of Us Blu-ray set I had. When I got the one to review, I was going to give away mine, and then I forgot
Mm-hmm.
about it. So I might do that. I don't know. Maybe talk about interviews. I don't know if people want to hear about it or if that's boring when you can just go watch the interview. I don't know. But then again, we talk about the show when people can just go watch the show and people like to hear it. So I don't know. You guys got to tell me, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want to do? It's kind
We,
of
we
hard to do
could we I mean we
virtually.
could come up with 20 random questions to ask you, like we're interviewing you, like me,
We
the
could do
chat,
that.
Lori, and everyone else.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I hope you guys, I hope people come. But yeah, I could do that as long as it's nothing super personal. I will answer. I'm not sure what else. I don't know. But other than the interview, I have no
Dig
idea
up
what
old photos of yourself meeting people and show them.
I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I like to see them. Pretty
Okay,
sure other
cool.
people like to see them.
Yeah, I can talk. That's why I wondered if people would want to hear about like different interviews and different press events and set things and that kind of thing. That's why I was saying, I think it was last night. I can't even tell. Hey, I don't even know what day it is now. Who knows? I think it was last night because I'm pretty sure it was with Lori. I was talking about how we ended up talking about 12 Monkeys. And I was saying that
Oh,
I was supposed to go to the 12 Monkey set. I was so upset that day. I was going to go with Karen, and we ended up, we couldn't go because there was like
oh,
this horrible storm. And even though it was in Toronto, like we had to drive through New York, and it's like all the roads were closed. When I called, they were surprised I wasn't going. And I'm like, we literally can't go. We can't go through New York. The roads are closed.
yeah.
I can't help where I'm coming from. So yeah, that did not happen, unfortunately, because that would have been such a cool set to see. I think it's fun when you get to see like unique things and not just the actors, but like the actual set. Like I think I just wish they'd let you take photos more often. They usually don't. Like when we went to Killjoys, like you got to sit in this, or not sit in, but like go in the room with this, like the spaceship, and where they sit in, I should say.
Yeah.
It's things like that. It's unique opportunities, but they don't do that so much anymore. Not as much for digital press, at least not when you're far away. If you live in California, maybe, but
Yeah.
it doesn't happen as much. But I enjoy that kind of stuff. I always have. So
It's really because shows have bigger budgets, you know.
yeah, yeah. What depends? I mean, some of
And
it, like
and it wasn't COVID.
hate it.
COVID probably feels into
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah. COVID is really when it stopped. I mean, because it
Yeah.
was. I went, like I said, I went twice to Midnight Texas. They flew us out there, and that was fun. I really enjoyed that, but yeah, it was just then, and I think that was like the last thing I went to that was in person, and then they started doing all the interviews on Zoom, and that's what
Yeah. Well, it's just
changed.
easier too, you know. You can do
Sorry,
so
what?
much. Well, I mean, it's so much easier and cheaper to do it on
Oh
Zoom, and you
yeah,
can do these whole junkets where you can get people, throughout the country, if not the world,
yeah,
asking you
it
questions.
is. Although they do still do physical, in person junkets and interviews and
Hmm.
stuff. I just
Or they
I can
show
do
an episode like they did with Yellow Jackets, so they show
yeah,
an
that kind of
episode.
thing. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just I can be part of more things um,
Do
when
you
it's
do
not
you
in
want me
person.
to ask the Seaview Circle guys if they'll come to your birthday?
Sure, I want everybody
Put
to
that
come
live on
in.
your birthday as
That's why
a
I'm wondering too, like
cyber queen
if I
media
should,
to show up.
yeah, I wondered if I should ditch the overlay so we can see people too. I was thinking
Yeah.
of that. Like I want to see people. I don't know. I just wish I could, like I said, I'm trying to think of something, but there's not, it's hard to do things virtually. Like
Yeah.
the only thing I could come up with like is I can get some like make some balloon animation and stuff. But I'm
Oh
like, I
yeah.
think that's kind of boring.
You get an
Nobody wants
animated pin the tail and the donkey, I'm in. Well, I can close my eyes and just touch the thing with my fingers.
to touch the screen, touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I won't cheat.
speaking of, it just reminded me because I was saying the animation. I because I've started animating stuff, obviously, like with the Raven. I was making cyberpunk stuff, and I made some really cool like city things in that to use. And I kind of came up with my own aesthetic. I was going to put it on here, but I ran out
Hmm.
of time. I'll explain why it didn't work in a second. But I somehow came up with my own aesthetic without meaning to, because had been making cyberpunk like cities and stuff. I was like rendering
Hmm.
cityscapes, but then also I was making these fantasy scenes that were with I don't know why, but I really like. I was making these scenes with cherry blossom trees and like waterfalls, and it was like a fantasy thing.
Hmm.
And then I like for whatever reason decided to combine the prompts, and I put them together. And
Yeah.
because I was using Midjourney, I'm just messing around and having fun.
Hmm.
And it made like trees that are like lit. They look like sort of sci-fi. They're like electric. I don't know how to say it. And they're like dripping like lights. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But yet it's got like a sort of that kind of background. Like it's like got a cityscape with these electric it's just cool looking. I don't know. It's interesting. But anyway, I started making the animations and I was going to put it up. And what I was doing before was I was like reversing, like in order to make something looped, I make it once and then I reverse it. And I did that. And then I realized it doesn't work because the water is going down and then going back up. And I'm like, that didn't work. So yeah, you can't reverse water flowing. So I'm not sure how to make it looped. I gotta mess around with it, but it's some pretty cool. Actually, I wonder if I probably can. Let me see here. Betting I might be able to bring up one of the videos. Let me see if I have the right one when I'm talking to you all. But yeah, I didn't think about that fact that it's gonna reverse the water. That one moves. Hold on. I'm trying to look at the files and talk at the same time. This is the one that flashes. I think it must be, maybe it's this one. After I find it, I'll put it on the screen. I just was trying to.
This kind of reminds me of Mystery Spots. Have you ever gone to a Mystery Spot where the water goes upwards?
For what? Wait, say that again?
Mystery Spots?
What do you mean mystery spots?
Like mystery spots, they're like a tourist attraction that's a mystery spot. There's one in Michigan and one in California. There's got to be other ones. And it's like, they have those rooms where you can look really small in one corner and walk across and look tall. Water
okay.
runs up. Water drips upwards and stuff. Like a lot of
I see kind of
hallucinatory things, but kind of cool.
I've seen kind of some like museum type things like that. Speaking of, I don't know why that made me think of it, but you know what I just thought of that I granted this was probably, I don't know, a couple decades ago, or at least a decade and a half ago. I was thinking our museum, they had, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's an installation. It's called Bodies.
Yeah. I've been to it in California.
Yeah. That was weird. I mean, it was interesting. It was kind of cool, but it was like weird.
They had the controversy about it because they didn't know where they were legitimately getting those bodies from.
Oh, well, hopefully people that donate. Well, I guess though donating to science wouldn't actually necessarily be the right thing, I guess, right?
Allegedly donating to science.
Yeah, allegedly, exactly. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can do this in OBS, because if the problem with OBS is if I close out of OBS, like, and I change the screen that's on, like it will, it'll make it black for everybody. Like it doesn't. I always forget that, like it'll screw it up. Let me see if I can I don't know how big this is going to come up. We'll find out.
Okay.
Not big enough.
Oh.
We'll make it bigger. But see, isn't that cool? It's like, it's hard to tell there that it's like lights, but it's like, that's one of them. But there's like all these lit things. But the thing, it loops okay. Okay, there it jumped. See, it like jumps when it goes back because the camera moved. That might be the wrong one. One of them, the camera doesn't move. I finally got it not to move the camera. It just took a while. There, that one like kind of flashes. It's weird. But I don't know. There's all these different things, and I was just really messing around. That's why I said I could do stuff like show that kind of stuff. But a lot of them, the camera moves. I have no idea which ones these are. I'm grabbing. I'm just like grabbing them to see which one that. I have like flowers. But you can see it's like lit. I don't know. It's like cyberpunk meets fantasy.
Japanese.
Yeah, it's kind of
Japanese feeling.
Yeah, it does. It's just, I don't know. It just like made this. I don't have, see, the ones that are the better pictures, I don't have animated yet. I don't think. I was going to say, I think I have, because some of them just it was like the really bright, pretty lit tree, but I did not save them all because the animation wasn't necessarily as good, so I didn't save them. But here, wait, I just saved one here. I should be able to open it. Which one is that? Is that this? No. Hold on. I'm looking for it. I saved it and I don't know where I saved it. Maybe it's this one. Nope, that's the same one. What the hell, man? Pick the right one, Jamie. I'll talk to myself while I'm trying to find it. What? Oh, I know why. I must have saved it under. I think I saved it in the other file. That's why it's not working. It's like you're clicking the wrong one. Download to. Call it a different thing, then I'll be able to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Here, that's what I called it. I called it here so I could find it. There, that one. Like, see how it's like lights? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
But that one doesn't have the city. That one's more fantasy. But I don't know. My point with all this was that I somehow came up with like this aesthetic that I made up without meaning to, and it's kind of like fantasy and cyberpunk, and I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like a computer's idea of what a tree would be.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And I thought I animated the city too. I was going to show you the city. I don't know. These ones aren't animations. Those are stills. Where the hell did you do it, Jamie? Hold on. I'll find it.
Yeah.
See, the problem is a lot of them, the screen moves. Like I said, it changes the camera. So it makes it like really hard to loop.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they're fun to mess with.
You could just make the camera longer. Like you could just make the shot longer.
Yeah, but like it jumps. Like, see, there's just the city, but which I think that would be really cool for a background for this. I love the colors. But what happens is, see, whenever like it zooms back to where it is, and then it like makes like a jump. And that's where I need to learn to do actual animation to figure out how to mess with it. But yeah, I don't know. I've been having fun the past couple days and not doing what I should be doing. But you know, I put money into Midjourney, so I was like, I'm going to use it. I got a month. I can use unlimited. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been making all the logos. I know you didn't see our other ones, but I was showing Lori, I made an animated gravestone that I'm going to have.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one with the bats and everything. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, the thing with the bats though was one of the overlays I bought. I didn't make the actual bat part. That part I didn't make, but I made an animation with a gravestone that says Revival Redux on it that I'm going to use on Friday. And I made like although this I didn't have done in time, even though like now we're done with it. I made a Dead City thing with like a Negan bat to spin around. So I don't know. I was having fun. That's all I can say. I get excited about this kind of tech stuff and do a lot of crazy shit. But I like making the logos and stuff. And then I made the Raven and I was all excited because my Raven's animated, but some of them are hard to cut out the background. That's why it's got like the white around the one Raven. People, if somebody's tuning in, they're probably like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about this shit? But hey, it's tech.
No,
so
just talk about whatever you want, man.
Yeah, no, but I should probably.
I'm drawing a snake with a cat head and bunny ears. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. I'm boring you that much. That's nice. No, okay.
No, you're not boring me. I think you're obsessed with things being boring. No, I like to draw when I'm talking to people.
No, it's okay. I'm just teasing.
It's my passion.
It's your passion. Good.
Yeah.
My idea was though, and kind of what I was trying to do originally, is that I wanted to make an animation for this show. That was why I was messing around with the city and getting something that was that color. But I also am messing around with space, because since I use like my space for Zoom and stuff, like I thought maybe I could make a cool background for my interviews. I don't know why everything came out like the pink and purple, but I like the pink and purple, so I was like, that's cool.
So the artificial colors they use for the Hubble photographs and stuff like that, Hubble telescope.
Yeah,
I was very upset when I found out that they use color. I thought that was just the colors of space, and then I got upset about that.
Well, no, I tried to make it bright, but I mean, it also
no, I mean when they do pictures from the Hubble telescope, they add color to them.
Probably.
I never realized that.
Oh, I didn't know that either. But they they match our show though. It actually kind of works with the show, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like doing weird shit like that. That's
Yeah.
this is why I'm not getting work done. And this is why I'm up too late. I'm spending too much time working on crazy stuff I don't need to do. But
Yeah.
like I told everybody, I've been learning DaVinci too, and I'm trying to learn how to animate them on my own, not with like AI.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to learn how to animate the stuff because I wanna do some of that stuff, but I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But I enjoy making the overlays custom, so I have my own stuff in it. But I'd like to make some animated alerts too.
Yeah, you can make those be right back cards as well.
Yeah. I'll have to do countdowns and things like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely countdown. Like with music. I
Yeah.
thought we were trying to make some music, like a countdown.
That would be fun.
Murderbot music that sounds more like the, robotery, like like the music they play in the end credits, that kind of,
yeah, kind of techno synth. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know if people want to hear this or not. We still have people listening, so maybe they want to hear it. But guys, you gotta, if you want to hear something else, tell us. Tell me to shut up.
Call in and just talk. I don't care.
Yeah, I can do that. But yeah, you guys gotta more than that. You gotta help me figure out what you want to hear about. If I should do something specific for my birthday, or if you don't want to hear anything specific and you want us just to do librarians, then tell me that
do
too.
Mad Libs.
Yeah, we do Mad Libs. But here's
conjuring. You want to conjure something?
I don't know. There's a StreamYard if anybody wants to join our conversation that we're kind of having. As long as we know who you are and that you want to call in. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you could do a watch party before. You could show us something you really enjoy, like an episode of a show that speaks to you or something.
That's true. It's just, I don't want to not do librarians. We have to have time, and I don't know how early I can get here. That's the only issue. Like, I don't know if I can get here before 9:30, because I'm not going to be home probably, but at a certain point. But we'll have to see. But yeah, we could do that too. I keep saying I still want to do Awake and the OA, and we still haven't done it. So we need to actually take time to do it. That, and I would like to do a Sandman rewatch. I kind of made up my mind that I'm gonna have to just like watch recaps, because I don't have time to watch 10 episodes. But if I do it for a watch party, then it's kind of like I might make the time,
Yeah.
But I started watching the recaps. I didn't remember it being that involved. I should know better with his stories. It's like so involved and so crazy. And I'm like, I can't remember half that shit. So yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say with Murderbot, like what other tell us like what kind of sci-fi shows you guys want to see, or like I know we talk sometimes when we do this show about Westworld. That's like the only show I can really think of that connects to the show that it makes me think of is Westworld. Or True Blood, because of Alexander Skarsgård, which is kind of irrelevant other than he's in it. I'm not sure.
If you go more Android, you can go Blade Runner or Raised by Wolves.
Well, yeah, Raised by Wolves. I have seen that. Blade Runner. I haven't seen Blade Runner in a while. Blade Runner is good. I like the new Blade Runner too, though. That's always
fun. And then they had that series, that Black Lotus, or whatever it was called. Black Lotus.
Oh, the series, Blade Runner, the animated.
I bought it, but I haven't watched it. Yeah.
No, I watched like a screener of the pilot, and then I forgot about it, to be honest. And I forgot it was coming on, and I never saw the rest of it. That's one of the many things I need to watch. It's like I'm talking now. I'm thinking about got animation on my brain now that we said that, because I was thinking of the Animatrix too. Like I'm not necessarily a big animation person, but there's some animation I like, and I've watched some of like the different Netflix animations because I've covered it or whatever. And like one of the shows I want to see, I still have not seen, is the Tomb Raider animation, because I love Tomb Raider. Yeah, it could come out a while ago. Have not seen that. I still have not seen the end of what the hell's the show called? Why am I blanking? Arcane. I haven't seen the
Arcane.
end of the newest season of Arcane. They released the later episodes, and like I had them, and I didn't get to see the end because of whatever was going on. I do hate that. Like sometimes I watch like I have to watch a lot of TV because of the stuff I cover, which is great, and I enjoy watching TV. But sometimes because I have to watch so much of different things, like I don't get to see the things I want to see or the end of things I enjoy unless I binge it and get no sleep, which is why a lot of times when I get screeners, I end up watching the whole season because otherwise I won't get to see it. So I stay up all night and get no sleep.
Yeah.
Like happens with the Institute, which is, a whole other issue. But I'm bad at binging. I try to wait for things and I am awful about it. And I just don't. I'm not good at that. I'm definitely a binger big time. Because I've been known to watch a whole season of something at once, like really literally at once. Like I've gotten it and watched it like before the junket or whatever. And I did it in like 24 hours. I'm like, I'm crazy. And that's why I'm so tired and can't stay awake. Because I watched 10 episodes of this. When I say that to them, and if you see on my videos when I say, oh, I watched it all, yeah, I did. That's 100% me and honest and true. I sometimes watch the whole season at once and I shouldn't. And sometimes I'm like, why are they not sending the rest of it? But yeah, I watch a lot of TV. I watch too much TV, but like I said, a lot of it's I'm supposed to do the interviews. That's why these live streams, like I realize as long as I don't overdo the notes and like having to rewatch it multiple times, like it's not difficult for me because I have to watch it anyway. So it's pretty cool, and I can enjoy a little bit more of the TV part of it. But yeah.
Watch Lego Masters tonight.
Well,
that's what I
which
watched.
one is it? I think I've seen the new one.
The
Which
Batman
one is it?
one.
Yeah, I've seen the Batman one.
Batman one.
I did watch what's it called? Super Amazing Cake. I forget what it's called. The new Duff show I was telling you about. Super Amazing Cakes.
Super Big Cakes or Super Amazing Cakes
yeah, that thing. Whatever it is. I watched the second episode before we did this. That show is so crazy, and I don't know how it's fair for people who, if anybody in the world is interested in what I'm saying. Duff
There's got to be at least one.
There's got to be at least one. Yeah. Duff is is competing against 6 different groups of cake decorators, bakers, whatever you want to call them. At the same time, they're each doing one cake, and his team's doing all 6. But what I can't figure out, and I don't think is fair, is there's I'm trying to think how many. There's 6 teams of 3, so there's 18 people he's competing against, and there's 12 people in his team, including him. So basically, each of the cakes that he does, there's 2 people working on them, and each of the cakes they're doing, there's 3 people working on. And I just don't see whether they're better at what they do or not, how that's fair, because you're still only getting so many hours to work on it. Like they're getting limited on how much time they have. So I don't know how he does it, but I'm enjoying the show, but I love cake decorating shows. That's my guilty pleasure. I told you before on the other show, I said that it's bad that like I pretty much, when they have contestants, I generally know who all of them are, which is really sad, but I usually know everybody. I'm like, oh, they were on Is It Cake? They were on this show, which is
I've seen some people. I've seen some crossover baking shows of different people that have won different competitions, and they're on another one.
Yeah, I tried to cover that. I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I really want to talk to people because I would love to I want to do an interview like that, because like I actually know so much about, I mean, like I don't bake, but I feel like I know so much about it because I watched a bunch of them. Because I know I did that Halloween one. I talked to the one person who had been on it. But I did, whenever they had the Harry Potter one, I talked to one of the contestants.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean, it was, like I said, it was one of the contestants, one of the bakers, but it's like, I don't care if I can't talk to like him. I'm happy to talk to the contestants. I want to talk about it. But I didn't get an answer, which kind of sucks too, because the first one was Elizabeth Rowe, and I think she's really awesome. I've wanted to talk to her for a while. I know that's a little sad, but I don't care. I like these shows. They're fun. But my point is, I don't see how he's doing that many at once. But yeah. That's my guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure you watch?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, I've been watching Twin Peaks: The Return, but I don't think that's a guilty pleasure.
No, that's not really a
Maybe,
guilty pleasure.
maybe
That's
it
more.
really depends. I mean, I don't watch. Are you talking about like reality TV? Because I don't really
No,
watch a lot.
no, I'm just talking about something that's not so
I do
much
want. Okay, I'll
mainstream.
tell you right now. The Quiz with Balls. I watch a Quiz with Balls. I admit
What
it. The
wait, say
Quiz
that
with
again.
Balls. You haven't seen Quiz with Balls?
Oh, Quiz of Balls. No, I have
No,
not seen
Quiz
that.
with Balls, not of
Quiz with
balls.
Balls. Okay, Quiz with Balls. No, I have not seen that. I do watch
They
some.
ask
That's a
people
game show,
trivia
right?
questions, and if they stand on the answer. Okay, just imagine people standing in front of a pool in different lanes, and they're standing and they're fully clothed, and they ask them a trivia question, and they have giant balls that are up way above them that slide down, and if you get the question wrong, you get in the water. The ball pushes you through the water.
That sounds like there used to be this show, and I'm never going to remember what it was called, but there used to be this trivia show where there was like holes beneath everybody, like a trap door would open up. Did you ever see that? And like it would drop the people down when they
Mm,
ran out of time if they didn't
yikes.
get or if they didn't get the question right. I
Mm.
can't remember what it was called, but it was like a pit they fell into. It was a game show. I like those kind of things. But I don't know. No, when I said guilty pleasure, yeah, I mean something that's like not mainstream that probably most people are like, why the hell
Yeah,
are
but I
you
don't
watching?
think baking shows are that much of a guilty pleasure, though.
No, I don't know. I just feel like I said, like that's not something that most of the time when you say, oh, I watch a lot of TV, that necessarily people watch that kind of thing. So that's why I'd say it's my guilty pleasure because I do watch a lot of cake. If there's a cake competition, I'm watching it because I enjoy the artistic like decorating part of it. I don't
Yeah.
so much watch like, Next Great Baker or whatever. I like watching the actual cake parts or something similar like when they have the gingerbread competitions like the Halloween, those are fun too. Those type of things. So I don't
And
know,
I
I
have
could put it
another
together.
one. I have another one. Let's
What's
talk
that?
about it. Ugliest House in America. I watched that.
I like that.
That's a good
I'm
one.
watching that too.
Oh yeah, nice.
I love Rita, she's funny, she's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
um
They had one with like one that was set in actually in around where I live in Michigan because I never had any in Michigan, and then all of a sudden they had three of
oh
them, and there was
wow,
like
that's
two of them I
cool.
could actually go see. I'm close enough. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, if they're open. I don't remember which episode it was, but I remember that one of them this season, they showed the first house and it was so bad. And I'm like, why did it not get a high rating? And then they
Mhm.
showed the second one and I'm like, oh, that's why that one was even worse. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember which ones they had together, but it was one of the ones that was really, really awful. Because I
Hmm.
think it was the one where one of them had the well in the middle of it or whatever. And then the other one had like the
They had the ones with the spiders in it.
stuff everywhere. Yeah, those places are crazy. But yeah, I watch those kind of things sometimes too. And I do sometimes. I guess that's another guilty pleasure. When I'm bored, I say when I'm bored because I don't have enough time to watch it. So it's when I don't have other stuff to watch. I do watch some of the home improvement shows. Like I love Property Brothers, although I haven't watched it in a
Mm.
while. And I started watching the other day. I was watching that 100 Day, whatever it is, 100 Day Dream Home. I watch that sometimes, and I enjoy watching the what is it, lottery dream home. I like
Mm.
seeing when they get like a really big expensive house and watching them watching them pick a big house and wishing I had money to get to win the lottery and get a crazy house.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I don't know. I just feel like those are guilty pleasures because they're weird things that are not in alignment with the other stuff I watch. Like I
Mm.
watch science fiction and fantasy, and then I watch a cake bake show. Like it's completely out
Mm.
of the realm of what I normally watch. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, I clearly watch a lot of different things. But yeah. But I do like stuff that's artistic. I know you had mentioned before, like I think we had said something about it. Like I loved Face Off. I
Yeah.
wish they had
Uh-huh.
that on longer. Those kind of things. And they had that cosplay show, but they never kept those. They didn't keep going with them. I would have liked to have,
Yeah, but I heard the cosplay one was pretty brutal. Like I've watched YouTube videos about like how hard that was, and like they would
yeah,
have the competitors who were all kind of supportive of each other say nasty things to each other, and they just you could tell because she's like you could tell that like this one had like about 20 takes because it doesn't seem like she like really is that mad. She's just saying stuff.
yeah. Sometimes that is the weird thing, like when you can tell that they're making drama though. you know, like that it's not even real
Probably all of
fights.
them.
I mean, that might have been real fights. I don't know. Sometimes they do fights, but
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like, I notice that the people are supportive, and I think like they don't want them to be supportive because they want them to fight.
Yeah.
Like, I find it funny. Like, one of the shows I also watch is Ink Master,
Yeah.
and which just makes me want to. I keep planning to get a tattoo that I haven't had money for that I haven't picked out yet. But anyway, aside from that story, when I used to watch Ink Master and it was on Spike, like all these people did was fight and bitch at each other. And now that it's on Paramount, like I think it was fake on Spike because they seem to be a lot more friend. Not that they don't fight, but like compared to what they used to fight with, like they're a lot more friendly than they used to be. So I think a lot of it was put on, and I'm sure a lot of the shows the shit's put on. But I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, but with the cosplay show, they had to make different cosplays, and they had such a short amount of time. When people
that's
usually,
really crazy.
take like 6 months to make an outfit.
Yeah.
So it's just too much pressure.
Yeah.
On
that
the
I understand.
participants.
There would be a lot going on with that. But you guys that are in the chat, what's your guilty pleasure stuff that you watch? Or do you think the stuff we're talking about is weird? Which is okay too. But
I just watch a lot of game shows. Like I was watching the 1% Club because I like Joe McHale. So
yeah, I know. I covered that, but it wasn't Joe McHale that did it. It was
oh really?
I can't think of his name. You know me, my brain doesn't work like ever. When I try to think of somebody's name, and I feel bad because it's like you talk to these people and you can't remember their name. And it's just, I don't know. It's the way it works. But yeah, I can't even get it to come up. The one that's in Sandman, and I can't think of his name. Somebody will probably think of it before I do, but I can't get it to come up on Internet Movie Database. But I had talked to him for it. But it wasn't Joe McHale. It was Patton Oswalt. That was his name.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that interview was funny. He was hilarious. Like he just was making me laugh the whole time doing the interview.
I'm sure he was. Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I had watched it because of that. When I did that. But I do watch game shows. I actually watch a good bit of game shows, not as many as I used to, but I got into game shows because I always watched them with my grandmother, but we watched them on Game Show Network. Like I watched the old stuff, like the original Match Game and all that.
Yeah.
And then when she passed, I didn't watch the stuff for a while because it made it hard to watch it.
Yeah.
But because I don't watch, like I used to always watch Jeopardy with her. I don't watch that as much anymore. But yeah, I like that kind of stuff. It's fun. It can be.
I wish Game Show Network would show Elevator again.
Elevator. That sounds familiar, but I feel like I haven't seen it.
It was the Circus Sisters. The Circus Sisters, when I mean, they still make horror movies. They like Made America Mary and some of those couple horror films.
Okay.
They were on like, because at one time at 3:00 in the morning, I'm like, who are these goth girls hosting this game show called Elevator? And it's basically, they had different challenges. They were all kind of gross, and they had to escape this building.
Yeah, that sounds like another. I can't think of what the name of the show is, but there's another thing that's sort of similar to that. It wasn't called that, but it was sort of, at least I don't think it was called that. It was sort of like a escape room type thing, but it was like a game show, and it was like a group of people trying to get out there. Maybe that was it. I don't know. I feel like it was a different name. It was something kind of like that. It was that sort of thing. But yeah, I like game shows, but I just like, I don't know. I feel like anymore I don't get to watch things I want to just sit down and watch. Like if I watch stuff, I don't have time to watch enough time anymore to watch this stuff I'd like to.
Yeah.
It's because I don't have time and I don't get enough sleep.
Probably get some sleep. It's like 2:00 in the morning.
Well, yeah, which is why I probably should have gotten off here by now instead of talking. But I don't know. I'm in like I'm in that weird haze time. I don't know, that I'm just like talking about random shit and watching that people are still listening and think, well, people must want to listen. They're still connected to us for some odd reason. So why not? I'll just keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I said Running Man. I have not seen Running Man, I don't think. I feel like, and hi Mark, welcome. I feel like I was gonna watch it. I feel like I was gonna watch it one time and didn't. but I remember it was on one of the streaming networks and I never watched it, but I was going to. You know what I want to see again? And I don't know what it's called. I never found out the title to it. Maybe somebody on here has seen it. Probably not, because it's a really random, like, small sci-fi movie. But it was on Sci-Fi Channel once, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the show before, but I've tried to find it for years and know what it was. It was about this signal that was being sent out to, like, all the people of, I guess, the planet, whatever. And they were like in this sort of futuristic, high-tech world. And throughout the show, the main characters, like, they became aware of whatever it was, or were like immune to the signal. I think it was some kind of, I don't know if it was a noise or what it was. I can't remember. But at any rate, by the end of the movie, they see what everything really is that people aren't seeing. And it's like everything is made of boxes with like scanning codes, like QR code type things on them. Everything is just cardboard boxes. Like the whole world is made of cardboard boxes because the world went to shit, like it does in these apocalyptic shows, like it does. And they turned the signal or whatever it was off, and like everybody still saw what they saw because the people couldn't like accept what the world had become. So it was like, you know, kind of like saying how we become as a society. I don't know. It was just a really interesting sci-fi movie. And I never found out what it was. It was like on decades ago, and I tried to find it and never could figure out what it was called. But it was a good movie. Yeah.
I don't know. I should go on some forums and ask around. I know that IMDb doesn't have forums anymore, but
I don't know. I remember at one point I had posted it somewhere and I never found. I know I had looked for it and never found it. Yeah, I don't remember. And it was so long ago. Like, that's as many details as I remember about it. Like the gist of it. It was a long time ago. So I don't remember a lot of it, but I just know I really liked it. Yeah, there's some sci-fi movies like that. The other movie I really like that I'm thinking of all of a sudden, that I want to watch again, I haven't seen for a while. I saw it was on one of the streaming networks and I was going to watch it. It's called Exchange with an X. I think it's either Stephen Baldwin or Billy Baldwin. I forget which Baldwin brother.
Oh, yeah.
One of the brothers. And it's about like they rent people's bodies. Like if I'm remembering rightly, it's been years since I've seen it. Like they use a machine and they basically like transfer their consciousness into their body, and like they can, like, people rent them out like that from, you know, to get money and stuff, and they let like vacation in them and stuff, and like somebody hijacks the one body. It's a really good show. It's a good sci-fi show, and it has been a long time since I've seen it. So those are the kind of good indie sci-fi. Trying to see which one. Stephen Baldwin. I really liked the movie. And you know what? I was thinking, and I was right. I was thinking the other guy's Kim Coates, and I'm thinking that can't be right. I'm thinking of that because of Dead City. It was Kim Coates that was in it. So I just looked it up. He was the other guy. Yeah, that's cool. Sounds a bit like They Live, but probably not. Let's see. Let me look up the movie. That doesn't. I don't think that.
I love They Live. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Quality.
Oh, you mean, I'm not sure if you mean my description of Exchange or you mean my description of the other movie, because it definitely wasn't the description of it definitely wasn't the other movie. The influence of decisions, they no more sense of the feeling that they control it. Let me see. I'm reading what it's about to see. I don't see the world without that. Oh, that does sound good though.
What They Live movie?
They Live. Yeah, I do not think that's it. But thank you. But that sounds really good though. I want to go read it. Or not read it, watch it. Sorry. Read it, watch it. I thought it looked like it was like more of a horror thing though. I don't know. But it wasn't in black and white. It says it's in color and black and white. I was gonna say different ones in black and white. That's interesting though. That sounds really good. But no, this was like it wasn't like known actors. It was like a lower budget movie. I mean, not that that's huge actors, but like I think if Keith David was in it, I'd remember. So I don't think it was that. It was like I didn't know any of the people that were in it. But the other movie I want to watch again, and I told you about, I think we should do watch party for, is Mirror Mask. But that's totally fantasy. But it reminds me of Labyrinth. It's got kind of that fantasy twist, weird puppet thing going on. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. It's a good movie. And Neverwhere. I'm in a gaming kick right now too, because I mean, not that I like him, but the content, because of Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
But, and of course, Good Omens is good. The only one I really didn't like was American Gods. I didn't really love that show. I couldn't get into it. It was too dark. But I don't know. A lot of times I go on to Prime to find a sci-fi movie because I have like all these stuff in my watch list of all these indie movies that look really good. And I end up going down the rabbit hole and bookmarking things and never watch them. Because do you ever go through Prime and like you click on one movie and then it shows you like a list of like 10 movies and like that shows you a list of like 10 movies and that shows you a list of like 10 movies and I'm like
yeah, I don't like their search engine at all unless you know exactly what you're looking for. You're not gonna
it sucks. But it when it keeps showing you suggestions based on the movie, like a lot of times they all look really good and I'm like looking through them all and reading about them and then I never end up actually watching anything. I just end up marking everything down and I never get around to watching it. But
yeah, sometimes you just gotta pick one and go.
Yeah, exactly. But what was it I watched the other day? Oh, I watched the new Alien movie the other day. As it's on digital. The Romulus. I was gonna say it's about Romulus.
Yeah.
Romulus. That was good. I like that. That was pretty good. I remember when I saw Prometheus, I didn't know it was like part of the Alien universe until.
Oh, you didn't?
When we went to see it, no, I had no clue because I didn't actually like. I don't know. I didn't read about it. I mean, I seen a trailer, but I never really thought about it. And we went to see it, and I'm like, after we started watching it, I'm like, this is like really familiar. And then I realized it was a prequel. It's like, oh, okay. So that was exactly. You saw 28 years later again, Samuel. Did you like it? I thought a lot of people didn't like it. It sounds like a lot of people didn't really like it. I still want to see the other two, but I have not. I have not seen any of those three yet. I will eventually, but it takes time. I want to see. I'm trying to think. What is it that's coming out? There's something I want to see, but it's not out yet, and I'm like blanking on what it was that I had wanted to see. It was something that isn't out till July because I wanted to go see it for my birthday, and it wasn't out. But I don't remember what it was. I don't know. Something that was coming that I don't remember, but it's going to be a while. Yes, you're right, Mark. Unfortunately, that's true. A lot of you hear a lot of bad things about people in Hollywood and everywhere else. That kind of ruins it. But I just try to. I mean, you can still like the movie and not like the person. That's why, like, I still like Harry Potter. I don't like J.K. Rowling because of all the shit she's done, but I still like the story. So I just try to.
You got to think of the hundreds of people that make a movie. You know.
Yeah, it's
you
not
appreciate the hundreds of people that put that together, and that
Yeah,
don't let the one bad apple destroy the bunch.
Right. Hi, Knight Rider. Welcome. It's kind of hard too when you've been like a huge fan of something to just like drop it and be like, I'm never going to watch it again. Like I'm not that person. It's like I've invested.
I'm kind of glad that Harry Potter wasn't a really big thing in my childhood, like other people.
Well, no, it wasn't in my childhood. I mean, I
know, but some people it's like that. With some younger people, it's just like then they
right. No, I agree. I didn't. I for at the beginning refused to watch it because I was one of those people that said, "Oh, that's for kids. I don't want to see it." Yeah. And then I went with my best friend at the time who talked me into going to see it. I saw the third movie before I saw the other ones. Yes, I saw Prisoner of Azkaban first and loved it. And then
it's
I went.
It's a good one.
It is. It's the best one to see. But I went back and I ended up reading the books. That I have read the books for and seen the movies. But I don't know. I've over the years invested a lot of time and energy into that and the fandom. And so yeah, I will. It's hard not to want to still like that. And I want to go to the new Universal stuff and see that. I'm looking here. I do want to see Until Dawn. I know some from or not from people. Who was it? Yellow Jackets people were talking about Until Dawn. Because some of the stuff in it, I kind of want to see it, but I don't know. It also looks
Until Dawn. I don't know what that is.
It is based on a video game where they, from my understanding, I think the story is that they're like it looks like they're in a sort of, I want to say haunted house. It's not really a haunted house, but like a house, and they're stuck there and like they keep dying over and over again and they got to survive until dawn. And it's based on a video game. To me, the game, because it's like a realistic game and you have to like make choices, you end up getting murdered and stuff. Like it was too scary. I didn't play it, but I'd like to see the movie. Grew up watching Lost in Space. I didn't really watch much of the original. I mean, I've watched it here and there, but I've watched some of the newer one. But yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Lost in Space. I mean, I've watched some of it, but not
the one with Will Ferrell.
With Will Ferrell.
Did he do a Lost in Space?
I don't think. Did he? Are you thinking of what's that?
Why do I think Heather Grant was involved in it too? Like some kind of reboot of Lost in Space.
I know what you're thinking of, but it's not that. That's something else. Anyway, I lost my train of thought, but I was saying with Harry Potter, I was saying, no, I was in college when I saw it, was what I was going to say. But yeah,
well, I was thinking Land of the Lost, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of up there with Land of the Lost.
Yes, I know you're talking about. Yes, I know you're talking about the TV show. I knew what she was talking about was Land of the Lost. But yeah, but there was a new Lost in Space series too. They had remade it. I think Parker Posey was in it. I think. And
Parker Posey?
I think it was Parker Posey, wasn't it?
That'd be cool. I'm into watching anything Parker Posey.
You're asking the person who can't remember the people that are in something she's interviewed for. So I am not the person to ask. I've just finally gotten to the point of make fun of myself because I can't remember shit. Because I just can't, and it's bad. And I don't mean to do it. I just sometimes can't remember. I feel like it was, Lost in Space, Parker. Yeah, she was Dr. Smith. Yeah, it was Parker Posey. So yeah, I remembered something right. So there we go. I was trying to see though what movie it was. Sorry guys, I'm not even looking at the camera because I'm looking over here at trying to see what the movie was. I remember Knight Rider. I did like Knight Rider, but what was it reminds me of Forever Knight too. I watched. I don't know why that's making me think of that. I guess just the title. But what is that movie that's coming out? Because I wanted to talk about the movie that's coming out, and I can't remember what the hell it was that I was thinking of. But I know it was something that was coming out that isn't out yet, and it was something I wanted to see, and I don't know what it was. But I'll probably find it eventually. But yeah, I had said the other night, I wanted to go see something for my birthday. I wanted to go to the movie, but there wasn't really anything that appealed to me that much that was out. But like I said, I haven't seen any of the 28 days, 28 weeks, whatever the hell later. So that's probably why, because I know a lot of people want to see that. Oh, Final Destination's Bloodlines might still be out. Maybe at the cheap theater too. But at the cheap theater.
Oh yeah. The cheap theater.
The cheap theater that used to be $1 that's now like $3. I think it's not even cheap anymore.
I used to like those. Those used to come out periodically around my birthday, and they were all in 3D. So I go out on my birthday and I watch in 3D. That's the best way to watch them in 3D.
I don't know that I've ever seen Final Destination in 3D, but I've seen some movies in 3D. Yeah. I still want to see Thunderbolt. But I don't think it's out anymore.
What's Thunderbolt?
Is it Thunderbolt or I keep wanting to say Thundercats, and that isn't right either. The Marvel movie. The Marvel movie. Isn't it Thunderbolts? It's called Thunderbolts, right? Or am I like calling it Thunder something
Thunderball?
Wrong? No, not Thunderball. It's Marvel. I think it's Thunderbolts. It's like the Avenger movie. It's Thunderbolts. If I'm like completely got it wrong, I'm gonna feel stupid.
My Marvel knowledge is limited to like
That's
Legion.
what I thought. You're confusing me. It is Thunderbolts. It's like Avengers. I like Marvel movies, and I have not gotten to see it. It's so expensive anymore to go to the show. Like it's a lot, and it's also I don't have time, but also it's a lot of money. So I never got to go see it. I really wanted to.
And there's always like cheaper options to watch movies that have been out, like getting from the library, or some service has it for free. You know,
you're saying this is the person who has watch parties every. every week. Yes, I know. I don't know if it's
Well, yeah, there's advantages to watching it because I can pause it if I want to get a
no, I
snack or
know.
something. You can't really pause a movie but I mean, nothing beats going to a matinee where you're like the only person in the matinee. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. When you go in
Like
the
you're renting
afternoon,
out the
but
whole theater.
the thing is the matinees anymore are like just as much as damn. I mean, not as
Mm,
much, but like they're a lot. Like it used to be, it was like $5 or something to go to the matinee.
yeah.
Now it's
Uh-huh.
like $10 to go. So it can be a lot. But yeah, I do want to see that, and I think it's on digital now.
Yeah.
But I usually do I usually at least try to go see the Marvel movies when they're in the theater, but I have not
Mm.
gotten to. I do have Xfinity tickets for How to Train Your Dragon, so I could go see that.
Oh,
It's like the reward thing or whatever. It was like
in
2 free tickets.
3D?
I don't think it's 3D. I think it's in 2D. 3D
Yeah.
would have been better, but I don't know. It's whatever was free. So I'll
Yeah.
probably go see that. No, I have not watched Ballerina, but to be fair, I've only seen 2 John Wick movies. I've seen the first one and I've seen the most recent one. And I only seen the most recent one because I had free Xfinity tickets to, I think, Mario, and asked if they cared if I went in a different theater, and they didn't. So I went and saw John Wick instead. It was better than Mario, I'm sure. But I hadn't seen the other John Wicks except for the first one. But it was still good. I liked it. But yeah, I'm not like a huge John Wick person. I don't know what Weapons is. The Long Walk I've heard of, but Weapons I have not. I don't know. I haven't really gone to the movies in a while. Actually, I don't know if that was the last one I seen or not. My birthday might have been the last one I went to last year. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I just have not gone for a while. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Last movie
But
I saw in the theater was A French Dispatch, so that's how long it's been.
yeah, that's a long time. I'm trying to
I
think.
should see that Wes Anderson, the Phoenician Scheme. I should see that.
I'm not sure what that is. I
The
I
Wes
don't know.
Anderson.
I'm trying to think what the last one I saw was. It might have been another Marvel movie. It was probably another Marvel movie. Because I did go see a lot of Marvel movies a lot of times too, because they had like the Disney reward thing and you could get free tickets through Disney, so that
Oh,
made it easier. But they don't have that now. Um just like I wish they'd at least I wish they would have brought like Doctor Who to theaters again too. That I probably would have like
mm.
used money and went to. Like I would have gotten the money together to go see Doctor Who if it was in the theater. But it was not. They haven't done that for a while. Yeah, if Doctor Who's in the theater, I'm going to see it. It doesn't matter. I can see it at home for free well, not for free on Disney Plus, whatever. But I would still go see it in the theater. But it was not in the theater here, only in the UK. Yeah, I usually if I watch something, it's like streamed or it's we're on a streaming service, whatever. But it's fun to go to the movies. It's just so expensive. They do have like the cheap night once a week or whatever, but like I said, even their cheap nights aren't very cheap. They're like
Mm.
$10 or whatever. It adds up, especially if you want to go with like a group. It ends up really expensive.
Yeah, there's
And
a
if you want
local theater
popcorn,
around
forget
here
about
that
it.
there's a local
What?
theater that has free nights. I mean, they'll show order movies like Adam's Family Values or something like that, but they're
Oh, that's
free.
cool. Yeah, I was gonna say they have free movies here once in a while, but they're usually like kids movies. But I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
as a kids movie
Well,
all year
around
round.
Christmas they'll have kids movies.
Yeah,
I go see those for funsies. Like
yeah.
I said, I
I
go to
haven't
a
thought about
matinee and I'm the only person in the theater, and Alf happens to be playing. I'll watch that.
Well, being the only one in the theater can be fun, though. It can be. You don't talk during. Well, if you're alone, I guess you don't talk to yourself. But I mean, you can talk and not worry about it if you're in the theater by yourself too. But
I talk to myself all the time. I'm my best company.
so do I. No, I don't know. I wish I could remember what the movie was, though. I was going to talk about because there was something I wanted to see, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I just remember it was out in July. I will go see Jurassic Park in July because I think that was the other one I got Xfinity tickets to. They do give tickets out a lot for Xfinity if you're a
Yeah.
reward member, but they're not always good movies. They just happen to be this month. Like I do want to see How to Train Your Dragon, although I don't think I've ever seen the original. I don't think I have,
Mm-hmm.
which is surprising, but yeah, I don't know. But there's so much on TV. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go to the movies anymore. There's always a lot to watch,
Mm-hmm.
always too much to watch. As I said, I don't have enough time to watch what I want to watch. So if I had like time to just sit down and watch stuff that I want to watch that I've even watched before, like I've told you guys what I want to have watch parties for. I say this all the time. I want to finish watching Awake. We had watched those 2 episodes the one day in Discord, but that was sort of an impromptu watch party, and it was just a couple of us. So I'd start over. I'd do that. I want to watch that. I want to watch Falling Water again, and I want to watch the OA because the OA is just. Do we watch From? Knight Rider, you have not been with us long enough. Yes, we watch From. This is how this all started.
We watch From, we analyze From, we talk about From for hours, we have 12-hour lives, we talk to the actors, we get cameos from the actors, we have giveaways of crochet dolls of the actors.
Yeah, lots of From stuff. No, I know you are. It's cool. I'm just laughing because you were above. But
you can join us.
Yeah, talk about From, but no, I was gonna say that's how it all started, but that's not true because I've been doing the podcast with Karen and AJ for 2 decades. But that's how me and you started doing podcasts, was because of From. We had our show, and I think what's the longest we've done together? Was it like 6 hours? I think.
Yeah, 5 or 6. It was when From was pretty hot and was playing new episodes.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 or 6. I think
it might have been the finale even.
Max, it might have been. Well, that was the night we had Jamie on too, so it might have been.
Yeah.
But yes, go into Sci-Fi Vision, into our video page. There's actually, I have playlists I made for them. You can see all our From live streams in the live part, but there's a lot of From interviews, which were from junkets that I've done, and there is a lot of From live streams. We've had almost every cast member has been on our show that we had at one point or another. Well, except for Harold Perrineau, but at least I did get to do the interview for that. But yes, we are big. I think most of the people that watch our show started and got to know us because of From and that. So yeah, there's a lot of From fans here. But we're waiting for it to come back. Missing it and want to see it again, but at least they started filming it, so we know it's coming back. But
yeah, and I do a regular From lives of Julie B deep dives, like Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, I know you're still doing it. I just, like I had said before, I think I needed a break. I was doing too many hours on From, so, and now I'm doing all the other shows and I just don't have that many hours in my day, but I do want to start watching it again.
And if you like TV's Doug Hughes, the Man in Yellow, he's on a lot of them.
Yeah, he's been on a lot. Yeah. But yeah, we like From, we like puzzle box shows. Missing Severance and Yellow Jackets as well.
Yep. We have a bunch of videos about those.
That's why I really hoped like the Institute was going to be more puzzle box. Like, it's a mystery, but it's not puzzle box.
I don't know anything about it. I'm just gonna go in blind and not know anything about it.
Well, it's based on a book. I'm sure you know that much. That it's based on a
Stephen King book. I'm assuming because it's Stephen King's involved. I'm assuming it's one of his.
Yes, Stephen King is involved.
So it's probably like that.
Yeah, but it's unfortunately not puzzle box, but it's good. It looks really good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, like I said before, we got 3 really solid puzzle box shows all in a row, and then you don't get anything to fill that void.
Yeah, it makes it hard. Stranger Things, yes. Stranger Things, though, has been off for so long. I almost don't care anymore. Like, I do, but I don't. Like, it's just been so long. It's so annoying because it takes so many years in between the shows. You get to the point where I don't remember anything. Because I think I remember the first season of Stranger Things, and the rest of it is I'd have to rewatch.
It's so weird. Yes, on a show that has younger actors too. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Stranger Things is good. But it's they take so long in between them. That's why I said Sandman, I'm watching the recaps so I can watch the second season, and I'm I don't remember half of that, and I don't have time to rewatch it. They take so long in between them. And some things I'll rewatch, but usually I don't. Now, when From comes back, I'm guessing we'll probably all rewatch it. I will.
Yeah.
At least. I think we all probably will. Although we've all seen it so many times at this point, I don't know that we need to. We could probably do a play of it, but
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'll probably rewatch. But And I know you'll probably rewatch Yellow Jackets. I don't know. I'll rewatch 3 seasons of Yellow Jackets. I'll rewatch the finale before the new one, but I don't know that I'll watch 3 seasons. But,
I easily watch 3 seasons of Yellow Jackets.
well,
No problems.
Well, yes and no, Knight Rider. Sandman season 2 is coming out on, I want to say, the 3rd of next month, I think. But there's only 2 seasons, and then it's been canceled because of everything going on. They didn't go beyond that, but we are getting a season 2, and they're releasing it in 2 pieces, I believe. Was it 2 or 3? I think it's 2 pieces. There's 6 episodes coming out, and we're trying to figure out when to fit a live stream in to talk about Sandman. We're gonna figure it out, but we're going to be doing the Institute as well. And now we have, Sundays open until then. Now that we're not doing Dead City. But I don't know. I didn't, it's like I'm doing so much now. Like I didn't expect to do something on Revival. I really didn't want to do another show, but Lori's like, do you want to do Revival? And I'm like, I really, really, really like this show. So, okay. And then I'm like, why did I agree to this? And then I wonder why I agreed to it. And no, I'm really enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, I'm doing another show and driving myself insane, getting no sleep like I'm doing now, up talking till 3 a.m. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I have fun, but then I regret it later because I don't get enough sleep. But I do really like Revival though. It's a cool show. But yes, if you haven't been with us for our other shows, we have obviously Murderbot for tonight. Tomorrow is on Tuesday at 10. Myself and my other 2 co-hosts, Karen and AJ, although Karen's not going to be there because she's left for Alaska. But anyway, or is leaving for Alaska. But we do our weekly roundup review of things, which now we're doing Resident Alien, as well as all the shows I've been doing during the week. We do like a review of because we do it together. We're talking about Murderbot and now it'll be the Dead City finale and Revival, and so kind of whatever's been on. That's Tuesdays at 10 Eastern, and then Thursdays at 11 Eastern. Scarlet and I have Librarians the Next Chapter. Although this week we're gonna have I'm gonna do some kind of birthday fun thing first before we do that for my birthday. That's Thursday, and then Friday at 11 is Revival with Lori. And we did have Dead City, but now that it's over, we don't have that right now. Although we probably will be starting up Daryl Dixon, I'm guessing, in September. We'll probably be doing that again. So, as I did ask Stephen Ogg about Dead City for Lori. Nobody else sent me any questions. I'm like, you guys need to send me questions. Nobody sent me questions. Lori wanted me to ask. I did ask about that. Yep, there's a lot of From shows, but yeah, you can look back. We've done quite a few of our live streams on From we did, but then we also have the interviews. Firefly is something I also wish they would bring back, very much so. They probably won't. We're lucky we got Serenity. Have you ever seen Firefly, Scarlet?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's an awesome show. We did The Last of Us not that long ago. Although I know some people now don't like they did. But Stranger Things is going to be forever, I think, before it comes back. And then by the time it comes back, you've forgotten half of it. But I don't know. We're gonna do Institute when it comes out, and I know me and you are gonna also do Sandman. We're gonna figure out when to do. We're gonna do Wednesday when it comes out, but those are all a little bit far away. So yeah, I don't know what else. What else is coming? I know we've talked about it. Nautilus. I don't know if we have. Oh, I gotta write that back. Sorry, I just remembered I had to write somebody. But yeah, Nautilus is coming out, but that's already been out elsewhere. Yeah, they need to make more sci-fi shows and more murder box puzzle box shows. Murder box. The problem
I think more murder box shows.
Yeah, I know. The problem with
some kind of like video drone thing.
Yeah, maybe. The problem with the puzzle box shows, though, is they usually get canceled because they don't get a big enough audience because people, I don't know, sometimes I think people just can't watch that long. Like they don't have a long enough attention span. But lately they've been done good. Usually they don't, but they have recently, because for a while, like anytime there was anything good, it was canceled constantly. It's what happens to a lot of good sci-fi shows. I mean, like what about the OA? I mean, the OA was Puzzle Box. I mean, that was like fantastic Puzzle Box. But then again, it's Netflix, and Netflix, they get 2 seasons, 3 if they're extremely lucky, and that's pretty much it because they don't cater to their subscribers, unfortunately. Although I don't know, they keep making it sound like they want to continue that at some point, which would be awesome. Monolith with Kurt Russell. Monolith sounds familiar. Don't know if I've seen it. I feel like maybe. Is it like really like pretty old? I might have seen it a long time ago. I feel like I did, but if it's what I think it is, it's like really a long time ago. I don't know. I still kind of would like to at some point do another X-File rewatch, but I just don't have the time investment in it. But I kind of want to watch it again because it's been a while since I've seen it. Especially, I could rewatch the new series. But again, that's a time investment. It's like I'd like to do Lost again, but it's like we've done watches and rewatches, so it's like I don't know that we should do it again, but it would be fun. Yeah, it seems like I don't know. It just seems like good sci-fi series never last very long. Not anymore. Not lately. Unless they're comedies. Like there's comedies, but I mean like serious deep sci-fi like that you really can sink your teeth into, they don't last long enough, unfortunately.
Well, they're kind of expensive. Like The Expanse was expensive.
Yeah. But they usually don't do well either. Like half the time they don't even get a full season. Like there was this one that was on, I don't remember what it was called, and I'll never remember, but it was about like aliens or something, and they were like hiding among the people. That was on, I don't know, it was on NBC. It was with the woman from Under the Dome. I don't remember what it was called though. That was on. Oh, and of course The Wilds that was on Prime. That, again, 2 seasons. That show was so good. I mean, that was like a kind of like makes me think Yellow Jackets a little bit, but like more puzzle boxy. That show was so good, and then got canceled. Like everything else.
Supposedly.
Huh?
What'd you say? It's puzzle boxy.
Yellow Jackets.
It's a mystery show.
I feel like Yellow Jackets is more like
Don't
more,
say
I'm trying to think of the right way. No, I'm trying to think of the right way. Like more like metaphor, like you can delve into it, but it's not, to me, it's more deep because a lot of the things mean stuff and have deeper meanings, but it's not like as deep of a mystery as like From. I don't quite look at it as much puzzle box. I know you do, but I don't as much. Not that I don't love it. I do.
I do.
I know.
There's lots of mysteries that probably never be solved in that show. There's those mysteries upon
Probably.
mysteries.
I'm sure
and then they just make more mysteries instead of solving the mysteries that they have already. They just make more.
That's true. You're probably correct. Under the Dome started out good. Under the Dome did not.
I had a friend of mine that worked on Under the Dome.
Oh, that's cool.
Close friend of mine, yeah.
That's cool.
Works on a lot of the productions that come through Williamton,
oh, cool.
North Carolina.
That's fun. I don't know. I liked it at the beginning, and we covered it, and then I don't know. It kind of fizzled and didn't. They went crazy. I don't know. It didn't end up as good. La Brea, I liked. A lot of people didn't like. I liked La Brea, but I mean, it wasn't like a super deep show. It was good. It just wasn't super deep. And like, what about like Quantum Leap? Quantum Leap was one that was on not that long ago. That was a good mystery. I mean, it wasn't really puzzle box, but it was a good mystery, and they got rid of that because they stink when they do that. Because that was one of the ones we were covering. They canceled, and like you said, Reginald, they got rid of. They don't last very long.
Sucks.
I have a feeling Surreal Estate probably isn't coming back. I wish like they would bring Winona Earp back. They were thinking of doing the I don't want to say spin-off, quasi spin-off, because it was on the other network when they had the movie, but I don't think that they got enough from it to redo it, but it would be nice if they did. watched the remake of. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The remake of because I'm guessing Under the Dome in La Brea doesn't have a remake, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. The remake of. Yeah. Problem is, there's not a lot of unique stuff that isn't like regurgitated shit. There is more lately, but like for a long time there wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it was just a lot of the same stuff. And I feel like lately there's finally been more good TV. Because for a while there wasn't a lot of stuff, or at least I felt like Quantum Leap. Yeah, yes, it was a remake. Sorry, yeah. I see what you mean. I wasn't thinking yes. I never really watched much of the original, but I've watched a couple of them here and there. But I like the new one. But yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of things that have not lasted at any rate. And I'm going to see how many people are. I know there's a lot of people here, but I think we can continue a little bit, but I think probably by 3.
You just getting more and more people?
By 3, yeah, I know there's a lot of people on, but I think by 3 we'll probably need to, or at least I will need to go to bed, or I'm not going to be able to get up. I still got and like behind on my video editing and everything else. Thankfully, I don't have to get up early for an interview. I don't have any interviews tomorrow. I do. Okay, never mind. That's Friday. I was going to say I do Thursday and I do Friday. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I didn't say. I mean, Friday for Librarians. I'm talking to Jessica Green, who plays Charlie. If anybody has any questions for her, yeah, if you or anybody else has questions for her, you can send them to me in Discord. In community, I made a talent submit questions or something like that channel, or on X. You can submit them. I would say submit for Institute, but the interview for Institute isn't going to be long enough for me to probably ask anybody else's questions. But what the Librarians one will be. And I need to get my butt in gear and try to get some of the cast on our show. But problem is, I don't know a lot of their people, like, because it's all in Serbia and everything. I don't know a lot of like the agents and stuff are all different. But I don't know. I haven't been trying to get people for our shows, and I need to do that. It's just hard sometimes, like when I do the junkets, because they're not going to give me both. And I don't want to like say no to doing the junket and then not get them elsewhere, you know? So like I end up doing it and then it doesn't happen. But it would be cool if we could get some people. It would be nice. I'd really like to. I was thinking I need to reach out to some people and do that. I need to get my butt in gear and do it. I just have not. I've been so busy lately. I haven't done it enough and tried enough, and I need to. Hey, it worked with From, right? So you never know. As for Yellow Jackets, that director was supposed to talk to us. I don't know what happened to that. I never heard back again. So that was not to my fault. I definitely tried. But I was going to say, what else do I have? I do still have another revival. I keep saying revival interview that's got to go up. I have a couple more Resident Alien ones. I have Buccaneers that's coming out. So I'm trying to think. And I just did Stephen Ogg today for revival. That'll be coming out too. So people can look for those. Wednesday, we like Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Wednesday. Oh, I lost Scarlet. Where'd she go? She disappeared. Well, hopefully she'll show back up and I'll let her back in. I don't know. She disappeared out of StreamYard. But yeah, I liked Wednesday. It was pretty good. But right now, I'm going to be covering the Institute and Sandman, probably. Well, I don't know about interviews for Sandman, but I'm going to be at least reviewing it. And Wednesday we will be doing, but it's just that's obviously not coming out for a little bit. But we will get to it. And for those of you who joined us late, If you haven't, make sure you join. It should still be up. Yeah, it's still pinned. Our Discord to see our schedule of everything, our watch parties, our live streams, all that fun stuff, to see all the stuff we're covering and talking about and all that. And be, if you guys have ideas for me to talk about Thursday to do for I don't know, a birthday show, let me know. I know it's like my birthday. Maybe that's dumb to do a stream, but I just thought it might be nice to do something different, especially because I was gonna like not do the live stream, but I know you guys want to hear it, and I thought it'd be fun. We can do something, and yeah. Who did I interview on From? I have interviewed everybody on From, I think, at this point. Um, the only one that was not a one-on-one, meaning it was with other journalists as well, was Harold Perrineau. That was a roundtable. But everybody else I've either talked to at the junket or has been on our live streams. So that's why I'm saying I did make a playlist. It has all the interviews and all the live streams and everything. But yeah, we were really lucky last season on SciFi Vision. We had almost everybody on the show. We're hoping to do that again. We were just really lucky that they came on. Maybe we'll get Harold next year. It'd be awesome. I tried to get him. But we even had the producers and directors. That's why I was hoping to talk to Jack Bender again, but I don't think I'm going to get to for the Institute. But the producers and him came on our show as well. That was a big one. Yes. Make sure you watch them. They're fun. And we took a lot. I mean, when we did the live streams, we tried to take all the fan questions we have. So they especially the producers, they went through a lot of people's questions. Didn't necessarily have answers, but they tried to answer a lot of them. We asked them. But yeah, I'm excited for From to come back. I don't know what happened to Scarlet. I'm going to have to message her and be like, where are you? But I really like that we had everybody on, and we want to again. We were really sorry, I lost my train of thought. We were really lucky, but that's why I said we need to start getting more guests on our show again. I just have not been very proactive about trying to get people lately, just because of life. I've had a lot going on, but we need to try that again. But I'm excited when From eventually comes back. It's just gonna, be a while in coming. But yeah, pretty much all the shows that we cover, I mean, even if they're not from live streams, there are interviews up on our YouTube at SciFi Vision, if you check them out. There's a lot up there, and that's why I said I still have some more to go. I'm behind on a lot of my stuff right now. I've been trying to catch up, but yeah. But yeah, the next interview coming up, like I said, is Librarians, and I just did Revival today. I'm trying to think what else. The Institute, that's Thursday. I think that's the only things I have officially confirmed scheduled right now. But yeah, those are some good ones. So do I think Rick Grimes will be on Dead City? No, I don't think he'll be on Dead City. I wish they would do The Ones Who Live Again. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I can't see him being on Dead City. I mean, just personally, I don't think he will be, but I don't know. I guess it's possible, but I highly doubt it. But Daryl Dixon comes back in September, so at least there's another Walking Dead coming back. I actually, earlier today, I had asked Stephen Ogg, because my other co-host, Lori, who I do the Dead City show with, we were talking last night and on our show, and she wanted me to ask him about, I did the interview for Revival, but she wanted me to ask about Dead City, and I did. And he was saying he'd like to see an episode of Simon, and I said they should do Tales of the Walking Dead of his character, because we were talking last night on the show about how they should have specific character episodes of people we know rather than random ones. You know what? To be fair, Samuel, usually when I watch Walking Dead, I hate watching it and complaining about all the writing. But and that's what kind of me and Karen have done for a while. But Lori wanted to do Dead City, and I started covering it with her, and I kind of enjoyed Dead City this season. It was pretty good. It's still not the best, and I still complained about some of the writing, but I kind of enjoyed it. The regular show, yeah, I didn't. It kind of went downhill, and Fear wasn't doing good. But there's things I still like about them. They're just not what they used to be, I guess. Um, Unfortunately, but I have covered a lot of that over the years. Oh, what are you doing, Scarlet? I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if she's not coming back. I'll talk to you guys for a few more minutes, but I think at 3, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get going so I can get some sleep, and not sleep in all day because I stayed up all night. But I know you guys are still hanging out, and I appreciate it very much. Like I said, make sure you check out our other live streams, since I am live streaming most nights now because I'm insane and I keep doing too many of these. But I will be back tomorrow night with AJ at 10 for our discussion on all the stuff from the week. We kind of talk about everything in one show, but it's not as detailed and divey as all these other things we've been doing. And like I said, on Thursday, I'm gonna do some kind of, I don't know, birthday bash thing. Figure out something fun to do. If you guys have suggestions, please send them to me. But I'm gonna see if I can maybe do a giveaway. I don't know. We're gonna see. But that'll be Thursday night. And yeah. So, and then of course Friday we have Revival again. But the only one we don't have for a while is like I said, Sunday, since Dead City's done now. But we will be coming back for the Institute on Sundays once that starts up. But for right now, we don't have anything on Sundays. Now that is over. Yeah, I was gonna say I rewatched it yesterday, not today. Well, I guess now technically that was 2 days ago, since it's now Tuesday. Because I've stayed on so long. I was gonna I figure I might as well try to make it till 3. So we're on till 3 because it's almost 3. But if Scarlet isn't back by 3, I will we'll wrap it up. People, I don't know that I don't know if people are getting sick of zombies. I mean, I like zombies. It depends what it is. Like, I still love The Last of Us. I like Revival. That's kind of zombies. I don't love a lot of Walking Dead, I'll admit, but I think Dead City was okay. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed the season. I mean, it wasn't the best show ever, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know that zombies are as big a thing as they were before. I know right now everybody's, like you said, you went to see 28 years later again. I didn't think a lot of people liked it. It sounded like, I don't know. I'd heard a couple people. I mean, not that I know, and I've talked to a lot of people, but I'd heard a couple people sounded like they didn't like it. Was I disappointed in The Last of Us? I think season 1 was better, but I liked season 2. I didn't like what they did to Joel, but I knew it was coming and I expected it. But I also have not played all the game, so I do not know the whole story. And I know a lot of people that played the game didn't like it because they veered off the original story. So I'm not looking at it from that point of view. I'm looking at it from the point of view as like a fan of just the series. But yes, I enjoyed Last of Us actually a lot, but I liked the first season a lot better. I mean, it wasn't as good as it, I will say that, but I still liked it, and I'm still looking forward to season 3. And in the meantime, hopefully, eventually, I'll finish the game if I can get past the gymnasium, and then I'll start the second one. Yes. Well, I think most people were disappointed with the Joel thing, but I don't know. I think, and I've said this on my show. I mean, you haven't heard other shows, so I'll say it again. But I think that they should have stretched the storyline with Ellie and Joel, and they should have written some stuff that wasn't in the game and extended the story and kept him around for a while. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of gamers don't agree with that, but that's what I think. But I mean, if you're going to adapt a story, it's like they had to do that with Joel. You knew it was coming. It had to happen or they couldn't adapt it. It's one of the main story points. Like, I get it, but I think they could have waited longer. Because my favorite part of The Last of Us is Ellie and Joel's relationship, their friendship, whatever you want to call it. I love their dynamic. And that was why I liked season 1 so much. And season 2 did not have that very long. But that being said, I mean, I still really liked it. They made me really like it, just not as much as season 1. But I'm still looking forward to season 3. So that just will be a while. But, we know we're getting a season 3, probably a season 4, because they at least are saying it will take till season 4. I cannot see Max or HBO or whatever they are now, Warner Brothers. I can't see them not renewing for the last season. So we'll probably get 2. It's just going to be a long time in coming, I guess. So unfortunately, we'll have to wait. And yeah, but hey, at least it'll eventually be here, right? And in the meantime, we have From to wait for, which will be before that. Yes, no. Season 3 has already been confirmed. It's just going to be a while getting here. And season 4 is a likely. But yes, season 3 has been officially confirmed. Although it's going to be, I don't know if you know the game story, it's going to be Abby's story. I guess there isn't going to be a lot of Ellie in it. So I honestly don't know how that will go. As I've said on our other show, I think personally, my opinion, I think that they should have, I don't know, done the Abby thing different and let you get to know her first. And again, I know it's not necessarily like the game to do it completely, but the fact that they had her kill Joel right away has made me already hate Abby. And there's no chance I feel like no chance I can empathize with her. So I'm going to struggle watching a 3rd season if it's almost all Abby. If they had, like, what I would have liked to have seen is like her maybe help them come to their community, get to know her. So you liked her. And again, I know that's not the game story, but I've been told that at least in the 2nd game, like you play Abby so you get to know her before you get to know what she did. And I feel like since we know what she did right away, it kind of ruined it and I can't empathize with her. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I've liked it so far. I'll keep watching and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not as excited for season 3 for that reason. I hope that they at least have some Ellie in it, just because I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting on board with seeing Abby's story, but I still want to see it. I still want to know what happens. Yeah, so there's that. And I still want to finish the game, which, like I said, I will eventually do. People who watch my show know I'm still stuck in the middle of the first game and haven't finished it yet. But eventually, that's the plan. But guys, it is after 3 a.m. I really do need to get some sleep. I have been staying up too late each night, and I do got a lot of work I got to get done as well. So I am going to wrap it up. But thank you very much for coming. Please make sure you join us again tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern for our roundup show. We'll be talking about Murderbot again a little bit. I'll be talking about with AJ, who's my other co-host on that show, as well as Resident Alien and Revival and Dead City. So yeah, we'll be discussing those shows tomorrow. And then, like I said, Thursday is Librarians and my birthday, and Friday is Revival. So make sure you join us and check out Discord, and like, subscribe, and if you leave comments for the videos outside of the chat, it's appreciated. Helps the algorithm. Same thing, if you see it in your feed, click on it and watch it for at least 30 seconds. It definitely helps to try to boost that traffic. I'm still learning YouTube and trying to figure it all out, but yeah, we will be back tomorrow. So thank you, everybody. Like I said, greatly appreciated. Thank you for being busy in the chat and for talking to us. I'm not sure that Scarlet got disconnected. Maybe she lost her internet. I don't know, because I haven't heard back from her. Hopefully everything's okay. But yeah, I know she appreciates y'all being here too. So thank you. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. So have a good night. Bye-bye.